This is the American on ESPN+. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane need 4 wins in their final 4 games for bowl eligibility. Here in Boca Raton, the FAU Owls face a similar sense of urgency. It's homecoming weekend in South Florida. Tulsa, FAU, moments away from kickoff. Well, welcome to Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Great to be alongside Patrick Murray. I'm AJ Ricketts. Pat, got a pair of first-year head coaches leading the way here at these programs, each trying to make a bowl game for the first time in a couple of years. High-flying offenses on both sides, but if either is going to make the postseason, the next 3 hours are critical.
Important game, and we've got a pair of aggressive young play callers in Trey Lamb and Zach Kittley. They like to go for it a lot on 4th down, go fast tempo on offense, throw it all over the place. I'm looking for a shootout today, AJ.
All right, let's start with Tulsa, who raised some eyebrows after going to Stillwater in late September and taking down Oklahoma State on the road. Golden Hurricane haven't won since then, but they got a little bit of a spark the last 2 weeks, Patrick, from the redshirt freshman quarterback Baylor Hayes.
Baylor Hayes with 547 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks in his last 2 games. He can make the off-schedule plays when things break down, but he's becoming more comfortable operating from the pocket as well. Defensively for the Golden Hurricane, Elijah Green at corner, 5 picks this year. That's tied for the lead in the country. He's a ball hawk in the secondary.
For FAU, like the run offense, the run defense has been problematic at times, but they can throw the football. Quarterback Caden Velkamp, second in the country in completions. Wide out Easton Mester, second in receptions. There's some positive things there.
Velkamp's got all the size, big dude, big arm. Needs some help from the run game to be able to attack down the field a little bit more, and he's got to cut down on the interceptions. For the Owls on defense, Tyler Stolsky, 12-plus tackles in each of his last 3 games. The Owls need their leading tackler to be at the top of his game today to slow down the Tulsa run game.
I mentioned the pair of first-year head coaches on the Tulsa side. Trey Lamb, who came in from East Tennessee, where he did a fabulous job, had the best record in that program in 3 years, but really did fantastic work as well at Gardner-Webb, guiding them to the FCS playoffs in back-to-back seasons. Best years there since 1992. And Zach Kittley comes over from Texas Tech, also spent some time at Western Kentucky, highly regarded for his offensive schemes through the years. He's had top 4 offenses in the country, too, the last 4 seasons.
A game day at his alma mater today in Lubbock.
Underway in Boca Raton. Glad to have you with us on ESPN Plus as this sails into the back of the end zone. And this will give us our first look at the redshirt freshman Baylor Hayes, who's making just his 3rd start of the season, but his 3rd consecutive start. And his coaching staff raved about the way he can extend plays, make plays with his legs, and he's gaining confidence by the game.
A career high 296 passing yards, 3 touchdowns for Hayes last week in a 1-point overtime loss to Temple. He gives him a chance to make some plays. He needs his young wide receivers on the perimeter to help him out.
5 touchdowns, no turnovers, or no interceptions in his last 2 games. First play facing pressure, gets the football out, and did a good job just to extend that play enough to avoid a loss of yards.
Florida Atlantic really aggressive early on, bringing the nickel blitz. The Owls blitzed a lot early in the year, have gotten away from it the last 4 games, but defensive coordinator Brett Dewhurst getting after the young freshman quarterback early.
The hit by the defense caused the ball to land in the area with no receiver. There's no intentional grounding.
Gavin Marcelin was in the area, so 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. And he faked the pitch. Hayes right across the middle. Easy pickings for his tight end, Brody Foley, who's one of the best tight ends in the country, leads the country in that department in touchdown receptions.
Foley with 12 catches over his last 2 games. He's on the right side of the screen, the far right side of the line, 80 in white, just coming all the way across the formation. A little bit of physicality to get open, and Hayes hits him.
Now on the sweep, this is Zion Steptoe trying to find some space. Got a couple of yards on 1st down, and fully 6 touchdown receptions, tied among the nation's leaders for tight ends.
Now Foley, a really big dude, 6'6", 260 pounds. He likes to use that size to go up over the top of you and make some catches.
Tulsa with tempo. Intercepted. Taken away in midfield. It's Trez Reed going the other way inside the 40. And an early turnover from a quarterback who had been protecting the football.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic, their first interception of the season. They've been looking for one all year long on defense. They've dropped a few, but Trez Reed has been one of the best corners in the conference. Good coverage there. And Hayes just a little bit ahead of his receiver. and the Owls take advantage.
Yeah, that fact, Patrick, that had been leaving this FAU coaching staff at a loss. Defensive coordinator Brett Dewhurst said, I've never been part of a situation. We've been this late in the season without a pick. They get one on the first drive right there, and some early momentum for this Florida Atlantic offense, led by Caden Veltkamp, the redshirt junior who transferred in from Bowling Green. He'll keep it on the ground on the first play. Breaking off the tackles, Jaden Shields Dutton. He's inside the red zone.
One of the biggest keys for Zach Kidley today was being able to run the football better, and it starts from play number 1 for the Owls.
Caden Shields Dutton, big run on first down. I'll give it right back to him. To the defensive line a bit earlier here. The run offense has been problematic this season for the Owls, just over 100 yards per game. That's last in the American. And like Zach Kitley said, we don't need it to be this explosive run offense, but if we can be a little closer to 150 per game, that's going to take so much pressure off Veltkamp and the rest of the offense.
And Florida Atlantic has widened out the offensive line splits today. They're going to be about a yard apart on the offensive line to try to open up some more of those run lanes for Shields Dutton and Jamari Sands.
Going back to those air raid run principles for Zach Kidley. Empty backfield. Veltkamp lofting it. Far side pylon. Platt the intended target out of play.
That's going to be a matchup to watch today. Those outside receivers for Florida Atlantic, when you get in the red zone, Veltkamp trying to throw it up on the back shoulder. You see the last game for Veltkamp against Navy, 299 yards, a pair of touchdowns, but he did throw an interception. He has thrown at least one pick in each of his last 4 games, so he's got to protect the football today. The Owls are last in the country in turnover margin. That's cost them a couple wins this year.
They're last in the conference in red zone touchdown percentage as well, just 17 of them in 33 attempts, as Sands is the tailback here. 3rd and 9. Veltkamp out of the pocket towards the pylon. Nobody in the area.
A good man coverage there from Tulsa. And Florida Atlantic's going to send out the field goal team. They go for it on 4th down more than anybody in the country, but I think this is the right move from Zach Kitley on 4th and 9. Just get some points on the board this early in the game.
Yeah, the analytic book that all the coaches talk about, and Zach Kitley's book, even in this situation, 4th and 9, the field goal is the choice.
He's going to go by the book. It's all about win probability.
Garrison Smith on for 36 yards. This is close, but sneaks inside the upright, and Garrison Smith puts FAU on the board. Owls take advantage of the early interception. Their first pick of the season, Garrison Smith puts it through. Owls up field goal in the early going. Zach Kittley, the youngest head coach in college football, and Trey Lamb in that conversation of young, successful head coaches as well, just 36 years old himself. And this isn't his first head coaching opportunity either. Again, Gardner Webb, East Tennessee, has already established himself as a successful head coach. Zach Kittley, well known for his offenses at Texas Tech, Western Kentucky, of course Houston Christian before that, where he partnered with Bailey Zappi before they set some records, or Zappi set some records in Western Kentucky. 3-0 here early in the first quarter. Braylon Presley back to receive for Tulsa. He'll take his second touchback. All right, for more on this matchup between two young head coaches, we send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Maria Travelpiece. Maria?
Well, AJ, they're not only both young head coaches, they also have very similar styles. When we talked to Trey Lamb earlier in the week, he said, when I turned on the Florida Atlantic tape, it was almost as if I was watching my own team. And because of that, he prepared for the Owls in a very specific way. And Trey Lamb also gave a lot of credit to Zach Kittley and his aggressiveness on the offense. It's something Trey Lamb likes to do as well. So two offensive-minded coaches as well as young coaches battling it out in this game.
Yeah, Trey Lamb was saying two young head coaches today love to throw the footballs. This is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Lamb said he wouldn't be surprised to see a back and forth offensive kind of game today as CJ Doggett gets the deflection at the line.
That was a big play by Doggett. Look for 7 on the right, or number 1 up the middle there, because Grayson Tempest was wide open over the middle of the field on a post route. That could have been a touchdown for Tulsa if they had been able to complete that ball.
No Zion Booker today for Tulsa. Their leading wide receiver. So more action throughout from Tempest as this is a handoff to Dominic Richardson. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long coming up for Tulsa.
And that's where the Golden Hurricane do not want to be. Going backwards behind the sticks here, and now the young freshman and Baylor Hayes may have to make an off-schedule play here if Florida Atlantic can get some pressure.
Golden Hurricane have struggled on 3rd down all season. A redshirt freshman quarterback coming off an interception on the opening drive. 3rd and 10. Hayes crossing routes. Gonna get first down yardage here to the 35. We're right next to it. We'll see where the spot is. Leon Hart Jr. on the tackle, and this will move the chains. Nice play on 3rd and 10.
Yeah, essentially a screen, and you see the receiver at the top of the screen to Donnell G. You get the blockers in front on the right side, pick up the first down.
Toss play on 1st down. A yard if that. Yeah, Donnell G. Trey Lamb was talking about his practice effort this week. Said he may go for 5 or 6 catches today. I know he only has 1 on the season, but he's been making some explosive plays in practice.
Yeah, Lamb has been looking for outside receivers that have speed. He's got a couple of freshmen that he likes today, and Josh Smith and G.
Bunched at the line here on 2nd and 9. Handoff. Richardson surrounded. Bryce Langston in on the tackle, the redshirt senior who transferred in from LSU, team captain. Another 3rd and long for the Golden Hurricane.
And Deshaun Batiste is the guy that initially got in the backfield to blow that play up, and another 3rd long.
Hayes, good pocket. Finds an open man at the 40, sprint to the first down marker and got enough yardage. Richardson, they love him out of the backfield. Him and Presley, both high-level players in that regard, and the first down again. Wendell Philord with the tackle.
FAU just going with a soft zone coverage there, and Baylor Hayes finds his check down. They pick it up.
A couple minutes into the first quarter. Again, good pocket for Hayes. Over the top, a little too strong. A wheel route there to Richardson.
And that's a matchup that Tulsa would like. Richardson on Stolsky, but Stolsky does a nice job of reading that and getting over there in time to get some good coverage on Richardson and disrupt that play.
Stolsky early in the season, he had that left hand all clubbed up and bandaged coming off an injury there. And a healthier status now later into the season. Leader at linebacker for this Owl side. 2nd down. Fake the sweep. Straight up the gut. Hayes using his legs to get a couple of yards. Set up 3rd and manageable here. A player down for the Owls after that sequence, and it is Stolsky.
Tulsa was trying to go tempo there. They get into a 3rd manageable, try to hurry it up and catch Florida Atlantic off guard, but Stolsky's down.
We'll take a look at Stolsky. We'll take a break. Still 3-0 Owls here. 3rd and 5 coming up on the other side. FAU linebacker Tyler Stolsky appears to be okay, and that's good news for the Owls. He has been terrific the last couple of games, 12-plus tackles in the last 3. He's the first Owl since Aziz Al-Shaair back in 2017 to accumulate those stats. So here, 3rd and 5 for the Golden Hurricane. A good opportunity to get Brody Foley involved again. They love him in these kind of situations.
Yeah, when the Golden Hurricane has to have it, Foley is their go-to guy. 6 catches for 41 and 2 scores in their last game against Temple.
They need 5. Hayes. He's going to be about 2 yards short on the designed run. Josh Roberts in on the tackle. And Tulsa going right back to the line of scrimmage here, 4th and short.
Yeah, Trey Lamb not quite as aggressive as Zach Kittley in going for it on 4th down, but he's more aggressive than most. Here they go.
16 for 26 on 4th downs this season. That's 7th in the league. Hayes going to throw on the designed rollouts, throw on the run. That's caught, 1st down yardage. Golden Hurricane moved the chains. That's Grayson Tempest on the grab.
But Tulsa using motion there to create some leverage. They bring Tempest across the formation, give him a little bit of a head start. Number 19 on the right side of the screen, just getting open, creating some separation to pick up the 4th down.
Tempest had a pair of grabs against Temple for 43 yards. Also scored against Temple.
Now, Tulsa's without Zion Booker today, their leading receiver, so Grayson Tempest is going to be playing most of the plays in the slot for him today.
Play action. Hayes facing pressure over the top and just gets that out of there. FAU pleading for intentional grounding. Didn't think anybody was in the area. No flag thrown, 2nd down.
It was good coverage by Demarius McGee in man-to-man to take away where they wanted to go. And Hayes is sitting in the pocket, nothing's open, still in the pocket, just throws it out of bounds with no one in the area. That's intentional grounding to me.
They are throwing the flag after discussion here. Matt Overton, your referee.
Offense, number 10. It's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
Well, just a quick teaching moment for the young freshman quarterback there. And he was poised in the pocket, but once nothing's open, you got to escape the pocket before you can throw it away out of bounds.
So a miscue there on the redshirt freshman. That backs him up. 2nd and 15. Hayes now designed to roll out to his left, being hounded across his body, and another dangerous throw. That was behind Richardson. Zaire Horton close to the action there. 3rd and long.
Now, Florida Atlantic defensive coordinator Brett Dewhurst doing a good job of changing up his coverages. They chase down Hayes, throws it behind him. It could have been dangerous. But Florida Atlantic it has been a man coverage team for most of the year. Tulsa was looking to bring some man beaters coming into this game. And Dewhurst and FAU have done a nice job of mixing it up, playing some more zone. And Hayes hasn't been quite as comfortable.
This drive, 12 plays, 30 yards. Hayes, 3rd and 15. Just flicks it forward to the 40. Nice spin move by A.J. Allen for a couple of extra yards. The former Miami Hurricane. He's nearly down to the 30. It'll be 4th and short.
I think they're going for it here. I'd go for it. That's a nice job by A.J. Allen to fight for extra yardage and give him a chance to go for it on this 4th down. You're in fringe field goal range. Probably too long to try one. Might as well try to keep the drive going.
Hayes with some consistent targets for his running backs out in the receiving game. 4th and 4. Hurricane have already converted once on this drive on 4th down. Tempest motions near side. Owls bring forward, pressure coming. Oh, how did Hayes get out of that? To his left, towards the end zone. Has a man. Oh, it's off the fingertips. Oh, that close to some magic to Josh Smith down the sideline. Instead, it's FAU possession.
Wow, what a play by Baylor Hayes to avoid that sack. Give Tulsa a chance. Look at the left side of the screen. Just a blitzer coming unabated to the quarterback. He ducks out of it, and this could have been a touchdown just off the fingertips of his running back, Braylon Presley, coming out of the backfield there. But Hayes from the blind side able to avoid a free rusher and give his player a chance, and Presley in the end zone.
Yeah, Damon Allen had an unimpeded path to Baylor Hayes there. And so Owls football around the 30, pitch play out to the 40-yard line. It's Jamari Sands. A little bit of shuffling along the offensive line today, by the way, for FAU. Mauricio Hines, the redshirt freshman, will starts at left guard. Alex Atkavich has missed some time with an injury. He's back in at right guard, while Scarlett Jeed getting the start at right tackle. Dauntre Richardson had been there for much of this season. So whistles blow. Seemed to have it figured out. Gain of 6 on first down on the run by Sands, who entered today's game just 29 yards on 14 carries his last 2 games. Kirch, the motion man. Another handoff, and less successful this time. 3rd and shorts after a pair of handoffs to Jamari Sands.
And if Florida Atlantic can pick up 1 or 2 here, get into 4th and 1, they may go for it even from their own territory. So they could even run the football again if they want to.
Josh Reardon, defensive coordinator for Tulsa, talked about how they have to scheme and plan for all the 4th downs they expect FAU to go for. Changes their 3rd down approach, 3rd and 3. Under 7 minutes to play first quarter. Near side, that's caught. Dom Henry at midfield before a pair of defenders bring him down. Good composure in the pocket by Veldkamp as Tulsa brought pressure.
And given a lot of cushion in the secondary, if you're going to bring pressure, you probably want to be up a little tighter.
Veldkamp, another great pocket. Down the field. Henry, his target, overthrew him by a yard.
Dom Henry had a lot of separation on that post route, and Veldkamp just couldn't quite put it on him. A good matchup. That's Elijah Green, the nation's leader in interceptions, and Henry with a nice route to get some separation there. Could have been a TD, just a little bit overthrown.
Henry's had a breakout season, didn't see much time in a couple years at BYU. 260 yards, 3 touchdowns this year. Another handoff. Sands getting the workload here early on this drive. Just 2 yards. 3rd down coming up.
And Florida Atlantic shuffled up that O-line like you talked about, AJ. They've just been trying to get some more push up front in the run game and a little more protection for Veldkamp to go down the field.
Quickly on 3rd and 8, outside, complete, first down. Platt has more. Plowed down the sideline. It's going to score. Jay-Sean Platt, 48 yards. Owls extend the lead.
The tempo really helped Florida Atlantic there. They caught Tulsa a little bit off guard. They couldn't quite get lined up in time in the secondary, as that's their safety, Zach Williams, trying to get over there to cover the outside receiver. And Platt, great job by Veldkamp to recognize it, just flip it out there, and Platt has the speed to finish it in the end zone.
We're going to take another look at this, make sure that Platt didn't step on the sideline in pursuit of the end zone there.
Probably a good idea to check it. He was tight roping it right down the sideline.
Not what Trey Lamb wants to see from his defense early, as Platt showing some speed here.
Good look at it. Still in bounds. Williams tries to make the tackle, couldn't quite knock him off balance enough. And that step, he's in there. Still in.
Nothing definitive from this angle that would overturn the decision.
Yeah, I don't see anything that would overturn it. Just make sure he finishes it. Yeah, he gets to the end zone. I think it would be a few steps after Williams dives at him would most likely be the spot that they're going to look more closely.
There was really only
right
one
there.
step in the whole sequence, or you thought,
yeah, it was
maybe,
that left foot.
yeah.
That left foot.
Right, not this one.
It's going to be at the next big yard line, right there.
Yep.
But there's nothing definitive there that can tell you.
Rolling on the field is upheld. It's a touchdown.
Jay-Sean Platt, the touchdown upheld. Great start here on homecoming weekend for FAU. 6 plays, 67 yards, just over 2 minutes. Another quick strike from this Owls offense.
And the Owls turned the interception into a field goal, and then the turnover on downs into another touchdown.
Garrison Smith out for the PAT, and no problem with it there. A business-like start from the Owls here in Boca Raton. The interception, a field goal, and 47 yards from Jay-Sean Platt, showing some speed down the South Florida sideline. Owls 10-0.
We're back here in Boca with Florida Atlantic having a 10-0 lead over the Tulsa Golden Hurricane after a touchdown by Jay-Sean Platt. When I caught up with Platt earlier in the week, he told me when he saw that Zach Kittley was coming to Florida Atlantic, he knew he wanted to stay here and continue being an Owl. He saw what Kittley had done with offenses, and he thought he could really fit in a system like that. So far this season, he's been having a breakout year, and he said he wants to continue to do that. He's just always looking to be the best leader he can and work on his individual skills, and it's really paying off, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Maria. We were talking with Zach Kittley about Jay-Sean Platt. He said it's been a crazy career for him. He entered just this season with just 9 receptions for 71 yards, having a breakout year and a touchdown here to start things off.
And there was some confusion in the Tulsa defense on that play. They were trying to switch sides of the field with their corners. As you watch the Tulsa players trying to figure out where they need to be lined up, their corners are trying to switch sides of the field. Look at 7. He's supposed to be all the way on the outside as a corner, and Florida Atlantic catches him and scores a touchdown.
And Owls tempo, that's a perfect situation there of how it can cause issues defensively. They lined up quick and found Platt with the football. Leon Hart Jr. with the tackle there. He's been nicked up the last couple of weeks. Did have 9 tackles last time out against Navy. All right, so quickly, Patrick, Tulsa down 10-0. Their redshirt freshman quarterback's throwing a pick. What's important here on this third possession for the Golden Hurricane?
They moved the ball well their last drive. They just got to be able to finish when they get into Florida Atlantic's side of the field.
It was a long drive, about 13, 14 plays. Tempest with some space. Out to the 30 and shouldered out of play at the 32. The third and short here for Tulsa.
A third and short, and a nice pump fake there by Foley. They were making it look like the screen and go, and then he just dumps it off to Tempest to make it a third manageable here. And again, Brody Foley is a guy that they like to get involved in these situations, but Florida Atlantic knows that too, and the Owls are probably going to have a safety over the top of him.
Presley, the tailback, motions wide. Pressure straight from the middle. Great pass, incompletes for a first down yardage.
Going to the other big tight end, and Landon Lucas, the fifth-year senior out of Modesto, California, right side of the screen, number 23. One-on-one with Tyler Stolsky. He's got leverage, just turn around. Hayes puts it right on him. Good read.
Empty backfield on first down. Tempest is getting involved. Now across the field through the 45 before being tripped up after another first down. Allen with the tackle. Tulsa moving the football.
A nice block by Braylon Presley, the running back. He allowed Tempest to pick up that first down, get those couple extra yards to move the chains.
Gain of 15. Third catch today for Grayson Tempest.
Tempest making the catch over the middle. Look for number 1 on the right side. He's going to get that block right there just to give him those couple extra yards and pick up the first down.
Tempest feeling good about himself right now. Entered today with just 5 catches all year. He has 3 in the first quarter. That's another completion to their talented tight end, who Trey Lamb thinks going to have a 10-year NFL career. Wouldn't be surprised. And Zach Kitley was very complimentary about him too. Said there's not a team in the league right now that wouldn't want this guy on their roster.
Foley's got NFL size, 6'6", 260. He's been Tulsa's best run blocker this year, and he's making a lot of plays in the passing game.
Gain of 5. Hayes, all sorts of time. Now we'll scramble left. We'll tuck it out to the 45.
Tulsa wanted to go deep down the field there. They had a double post concept on, and Florida Atlantic did a great job in their secondary of picking that up. Good protection for Hayes, but nothing open downfield. He just had to tuck it and scramble.
Yeah, coming off a 222-yard game is Hayes. He has 4 200-plus yard passing games now this year. Coming over from East Tennessee with his head coach. It was not the plan for him to be the starter at this point of the season, but he has continued to impress. 3rd and 4, pitch left side. Great tackle. Owls got to the backfield off the edge.
Demarius McGee, great read from his corner spot. He's going to come in from the left side, number 32, just flying in and cutting him down. Good tackle to take out the legs and prevent the Tulsa Golden Hurricane from picking up that first down.
There is an FAU player down right in front of the Tulsa sideline.
Gavench Marcellin, their hybrid defensive end linebacker, getting looked at.
Marcellin entered today, 12 tackles, couple sacks on the year. Big part of this defensive line for FAU, along with Batiste, CJ Doggett, Eric Brantley.
And they
Good
need
to see him
in,
jogging off. Yeah,
they need him in those short yardage situations, or when Tulsa goes 2 tight ends, they want to get him in the game to get a bigger body in there. But good to see him on his feet. And Tulsa may go for it here. 4th and 4 near midfield. Looks like they're sending the offense back out. That's what we're going to see a lot today.
Already the 3rd, 4th down. Tulsa going for it in the first quarter alone. 2:38 left to play.
You got to be aggressive if you're going to win this game, especially down 10 early.
And Tulsa's got to win their final 4 games to become bowl eligible. They need 4 yards. Tempest in motion. Owls bringing 5. Hayes stepping forward, evaded the first tackle. First down and more for Hayes. He's inside the 40.
And that athletic ability from Hayes, that's what won him this starting quarterback job, beating out Kirk Francis. And Florida Atlantic gets some pressure on him. And Hayes recognizes that he's able to escape reads it well and gets to the outside to pick up that first down.
Needed 4, got 7. He's been unflappable here in this first quarter. Now Tulsa is still scoreless, but you're seeing what this coaching staff sees at him. Hey, he's going to take a shot down the field here, and that's off the fingertips of an FAU defender out of play.
Tulsa trying to affect the second and third levels of the Florida Atlantic defense with that play action, but the Owls did not bite on it. And Florida Atlantic's done a great job today of capping Tulsa's offense, not letting them go deep down the field.
He's 9 for 16, 76 yards, and that interception on the first drive. 2nd and 10. We'll keep it on the ground. Richardson fighting for an extra yard or two. It's down to the 32. Stolsky in on the tackle. And Richardson in his 3rd collegiate stop. Had some productive years at Baylor and Oklahoma State. 3rd and 5. Hayes gets it off quickly and just out in front of Richardson, trying to get his running back involved again in the receiving game. Nothing Richardson could do there. 4th down.
Hayes just rushed it. Tulsa got what they wanted, man coverage. They had Stolsky, the linebacker, on Richardson. Richardson had a step, but Hayes just rushed the throw and was inaccurate.
No surprise, Trey Lamb opting to go for it once more on 4th and 5.
Now, Florida Atlantic loves to blitz on 4th down, and they're showing it here.
Whistles blow the play dead before that got started, and Tulsa's going to take their first timeout.
First charge timeout, Tulsa. 30-second timeout.
On the 33-yard line here, I think they're still going to go for it. But Trey Lamb just wants to talk to his young QB, Baylor Hayes, and make sure they're on the same page, that they have a good play call here.
Thank you.
10-0 here, minute 19 to play in the first quarter. The American on ESPN Plus is home to 40-plus college football games, over 1,000 exclusive live events, and every American Conference championship throughout the season. For more information to sign up, visit stream.espn.com. Well, Tempest has 3 grabs for Tulsa thus far. Foley a pair for 17 yards. Hayes has been solid on these 3rd and 4th and medium situations today.
And Florida Atlantic has taken away Foley on these gotta-have-it plays. They've had to go to Lucas or Tempest.
Tempest motions again. Owls bring the pressure. Hayes over the top, near sideline, incomplete. Great coverage, Wendell Fillard, and the Owls turn it over on downs.
A good bit blitz pickup by Tulsa, but Wendell Fillard right there all over Grayson Tempest, playing man coverage for Florida Atlantic, and they get off the field once again on 4th down. Good blitz pickup by Richardson, and Hayes just a little bit inaccurate with the throw, but actually I think that was Chris Tooley that was right there. The 8 and the 0 look kind of similar, but Chris Tooley, another guy that plays nickel for Florida Atlantic.
It's a real chance here for FAU to get some distance in the early going. Already up 10, 3rd possession. Here's Messer, 2nd in the country in receptions, asserting 1st down yardage on the far sideline. Just a really neat dynamic to continue to see Veldkamp and Messer be as productive as they are in their 2nd stop together.
Yeah, best friends. They're always together, and they played in a bowl game in this stadium, the Boca Raton Bowl for Western Kentucky last year. Lost to James Madison, but both had a good game and sticking together to come play for Zach Kidley.
Zach Kidley calls Messer Mr. Reliable. 70 catches on the year. You see why. This is for 2 yards right up the middle. This is going to go a lot more. 2 yards somehow escaping. Shields Dutton to the 10 before being wrapped up. That play looked dead. Shields Dutton had other ideas.
Oh, what an effort by Shields Dutton. He's in that pile. Tulsa just could not get him on the ground. 5'11", 215-pound back keeps the legs churning.
Gain of 50. Right back to him. Wrapped up far earlier this time. Will Alexander getting towards the backfield.
But look at that last play, the big one, and Shields Dutton coming right up the middle, breaks one tackle. Looks like he's almost on the ground, but keeps the balance, keeps the legs driving, and is able to get the big run, but then gets a little bit banged up at the end there, holding his chest.
An explosive
That is the end
run
of the first quarter.
to finish the first quarter for Caden Shields-Dutton and the Owls, who are knocking on the door of the end zone once more. 10-0 Owls over the Golden Hurricane through 1 in Boca.
When we talked to Tulsa's defensive coordinator, Josh Reardon, he mentioned the weather possibly being a factor. He said with how fast Florida Atlantic plays, his defense needs to be ready and be able to endure the heat. Now, there's shade down here, but in the pockets of sun, guys, it is really hot, so it might be playing a factor for the Golden Hurricane.
Yeah, Patrick, Maria, I know I was compromised on the 3-minute walk from the parking lot to the press box. I imagine field level and pads, it's exponentially more so. First play, second quarter, Veltkamp throwing on the run here. Sands staying in play, diving into pylon, maybe a yard short. Great effort, Jamari Sands extending FAU a yard away.
And that's a play the Owls have been working on this week in practice. It's an RPO, and Veltkamp can run it. He can throw the pop pass to the tight end in the end zone, but Tulsa covered that up. And he gets the check down out to his running back there. And Sands is real close to getting in the end zone, but just cut down short.
3rd and goal at the 1 for FAU. Oh, they fumbled the football and the handoff. Tulsa looks like they jumped on top first. This might be disastrous for the Owls. And it is Tulsa football. What a mistake on the handoff. And FAU gives it away.
Now Veldkamp is trying to decide if he should pull that ball or if he should leave it in the belly of Sands. And that's going to be an RPO for him to throw it to Wasim at the bottom of the screen. And Tulsa calls that one a city fumble. If it's on the ground, there's a crowd around, you got to just dive on it. And the Golden Hurricane did a good job there of recognizing and getting on top.
As opposed to the country fumbles, right, Patrick? It's a scoop and score opportunity. They teach them shortstop form to scoop that up and get on their way. They were fine with the city fumble right there.
When there's a lot of wide open space, country fumble, you scoop it and score. But when you're in the city, you got to fall on it. And that's a huge play for the Golden Hurricane to keep any points off the board for Florida Atlantic.
In danger of really breaking this game open. Now Tulsa off to Richardson, chopped down inside the 10. It looks like a little scramble. I don't know if he fumbled the football for a moment.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic was acting like they might have the football, but looks like Richardson held on to it.
Chris Keys Jr. in on the tackle. Richardson right around 700 yards this year. Tulsa's leading rusher last year had just 400 yards. 2nd and 2. Taking the sweep. Hayes going to take a deep shot. Overthrew his man. Miscommunication. Josh Smith had stopped the route. Looks confused. Jogs towards the sideline. 3rd and 2.
Well, Therese Reed had great coverage on Smith, and he's over the top of him, so Smith just sits that route down trying to get open. But Hayes had already let it go, thinking he's just going to give Smith a chance to go up and make a play on a 50-50 ball.
Tulsa can even just get a couple first downs here to help with field position, help their defense out. Could be very meaningful. A little shovel pass that gets Tulsa out past the 15. We'll get the job done. First down.
A nice call there by Trey Lamb, and they catch Florida Atlantic flowing into the backfield. Little shovel pass behind him to move the chains.
A.J. Allen in the backfield for the Golden Hurricane.
Former Miami Hurricane. He was pretty good for the Canes, 7.6 yards a carry in his season there.
He had 5 touchdowns in one season a couple years ago. Another handoff to Allen, skipping off some tackles. Allen into open space, past the 35 before getting tripped up. Explosive run by A.J. Allen before Demarius McGee brought him down.
Yeah, Allen breaking a tackle in the backfield, but that is a touchdown-saving tackle by McGee. Get out of that mess into the open field, but McGee saves a touchdown for the Owls.
Running between the tackles again. A.J. Allen, heavy early workload after the gain of 20.
And Tulsa has at least flipped the field now. Like you mentioned earlier, AJ, they were backed up. They're able to move the ball closer to midfield and at least winning the field possession battle. But the Golden Hurricane have got to be able to finish one of these drives with points to stay in this game.
Trey Lamb said the frustrating thing for me, earlier in the year, we were pretty average on offense. We weren't quite clicking. The defense was making plays. It's felt it's kind of flipped the last few weeks. But he has been encouraged by what he's seen out of Hayes, of course. Here's the tunnel screen. Near side, slipping some more tackles. Jacob Emmers is on his way. Emmers one to beat. Stutter step and brought down at the 15. Golden Hurricane moving the football.
A good timing on that tunnel screen. And Emmers just patient enough to let his block set up. Look at 52 coming up to make this block right in front of him. Ian Mays getting the seal there, and Emmers just patient enough to let the O-line make those blocks, and then speed on the outside to make the big play. The O-line getting out in front, setting it up for the big gain.
This drive started at their own end zone. Allen again, wrestled down at the 15. The swing in momentum in the last 3 minutes. FAU was moments away from making this a 17-0 game. Moments into the second quarter now. Tulsa is well on their way inside the red zone now. A chance to cut it to 3 potentially.
A key inflection point in the game right here. And the Golden Hurricane were really good in the red zone last week. 5 touchdowns on 6 trips against Temple.
Fake the pitch. Hayes facing pressure, lost it up, it was deflected, nearly intercepted. It was hanging in midair for an eternity, and Roberts could not bring it down.
Now Roberts just jumped a little bit too early. He can't believe it. Had a pick falling right into his lap as Hayes got rocked in the backfield. just hanging up in the air, and Roberts just a little bit too early on the jump. And a good job by Brody Foley coming over there and trying to play defensive back and make sure he doesn't make the grab.
Oh, that's what Josh Roberts would love back. Gives Tulsa another chance here. 3rd and 8. Hayes off his back foot on the crosser to Richardson. Great tackle at the shoestrings.
Dominic Richardson.
Dom Richardson was the target.
Lamb's going for it here. FAU brings the blitz. Just fading away, dumping it off to Richardson, and a good open field tackle there. That was Mike Wright from his safety spot. Well, and now Trey Lamb's going to change his mind and go ahead and kick the field goal. I think that's a good move. I mean, down 10-0, just get some points on the board. You've already had a couple drives and end on 4th down.
Morgan on for the 30-yard.
Morgan 10 for 13 this season. It's a huge part of that win against Oklahoma State. Scored 13 of the team's 19 points. Flag flies. He'll get a little practice attempt first.
Delay of game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Move it back 5.
Well, Tulsa took a little bit too long deciding if they wanted to go for it or kick the field goal. Couldn't get set up in time. Move him back 5, but it shouldn't affect Morgan. He's pretty accurate from this range. 3 of 4 this year from 30 to 39.
This will be from 36. Looking to cut this to a touchdown game. Good snap. Hold is down. And Morgan, no problem. 36 yards, splits the uprights. But Tulsa will take the points after near disaster themselves in the red zone. Josh Roberts just missed timing it. Off the fingertips, Tulsa's on the board. Florida Atlantic with a 10-3 lead over Tulsa here in American Conference action. AJ Ricketts, Patrick Murray, glad to have you with us at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Homecoming weekends in Boca. When Owls that close, going up 17-0. Tulsa able to manage their first points of the day off a 10-play, 80-yard drive. Took 4:15 off the clock, and all of a sudden we got ourselves a game again.
Yeah, that's a big drive there by Tulsa to be able to get on the board. And now you got to watch out here on the kick return. Jayshon Platt is dangerous. FAU's got 6 kick returns of 30 or more yards this year. Platt has been inches away from breaking one for a touchdown about 4 or 5 times. But Tulsa has been really good in kick coverage. They've only allowed 1 kick return of 30 plus. So they've been able to limit the big plays. Platt's been able to make them. Let's see who comes out on top on this kickoff.
4 returns for 81 yards last week for Platt, who already has a touchdown today. Seth Morgan will send it away. Under 10 minutes to play here in the first half on a steamy afternoon in Boca. Platt will let this one go. And Patrick, when we were talking with Zach Kittley, I asked him what stood out just over the course of the last 2 or 3 weeks, and he says, look, we get in good situations in the red zone, and false starts, self-inflicted mistakes, moving backwards. We cannot have these self-inflicted wounds. And unfortunately for the Owls, that narrative is continuing. Fortunately for the Owls, they still have a touchdown lead despite it.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Florida Atlantic. I mean, they're right there about the 5-yard line, and Veldkamp just took a tick too long deciding if he's going to hand that ball off or if he's going to keep it. Ends up on the ground, and that was a huge momentum swinging play for Tulsa to fall on that fumble and keep Florida Atlantic from extending their lead.
Starting this drive on the 25 after the touchback. Veldkamp, cleaner handoff this time as Sands shuffles right. Get about 3 yards on first down. Owls again coming off a very tough game on the road in Annapolis, taking on Navy last time out, who's having a fantastic season. One of a number of teams in this conference that is really making a name for themselves. USF, North Texas, Tulane, Memphis, take your pick. And when you place that upper tier in the league, it's been tough to come out with a win. FAU 2-3 in league action this year. 2nd and 7. Veldkamp steps into it. Here's Messer. Bumped up the sideline right around the marker.
And Florida Atlantic and Tulsa have both had some pretty tough schedules this year. They both had to play Memphis and Navy, and Florida Atlantic's had to play South Florida as well. They've played those top teams.
3rd and 2, slant route, bobbled, and that will fall to the turf. Trying to locate Michael Kirch. That's incomplete. Even Tulsa, who's coming off that loss to Temple. I mean, Casey Keeler is turning things around in Philadelphia. That's no longer as maybe the kind of game it was the last few years either.
Yeah, that's not an easy one for Tulsa either. And they took Temple to overtime, had a chance to win that game. Trey Lamb decided to go for 2, try to get the win. They had the play call, they had the look that they wanted, but on a little jump pass from their tight end, Brody Foley, but fell incomplete. Ended up losing that game by 1 in OT.
Love the decision, though, in that moment.
Me too.
Fake punt. They go for it on 4th and 2, and they got stuffed. Wow. FAU trying some trickeration there. Tulsa was ready for it.
The runner was short of the line of the game. First down, Tulsa.
And another momentum swinging play here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, that's a big one. With Zach Kittley getting real aggressive. Usually he just lines up and goes ahead and goes for it on 4th down. This time they're going to fake it, snapping it to Shields Dutton, the up back. He had a block from Kirch in front of him, but Tulsa's able to get in there. Dax Collins, the safety, playing on special teams, gets in there and makes the stop. And Tulsa has got a great chance here, fantastic field position to try to tie this game up.
Now this time they don't start in the shadow of their own goal line. They'll be at the 34.
And they want to reset the play clock.
Really 200 yards of offense already in this first half for Tulsa. Hayes on first down. Gives it off. A.J. Allen rumbling forward. Good first down carry for the Golden Hurricane.
A.J. Allen.
That's what they're looking for. Now they can go tempo, and playbook is open to you here on 2nd and short.
Marshall and the tackle. 2nd and 5. Quick throw to the outside. Blasted by Demarius McGee, who read that screen pass. 3rd down upcoming.
McGee has had a really good game today. I mean, he has been reading things really well. Recognized that screen right away. Fights off the block. This is what you call block destruction right here. Going right through it and hammering G to prevent that completion.
McGee spent some time at LSU, had a Pensacola Catholic up in the Panhandle. 3rd and 5, toss play. Allen evades the first tackle, snuffed out before the marker. Owls pursued well along the edge. 4th down coming.
They're going for it here. Fourth and 1. Trey Lamb's going to be aggressive, keep his offense on the field. I'm looking out for quarterback run here.
It's the 5th 4th down Tulsa's going for in this first half. Allen, the tailback, going heavy along that left side of the line. Owls jumped, but so did Tulsa on the far side. Looks like G jumped across.
False start. Offense, number 18. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
And that's going to change the calculus a little bit here.
A true freshman wide receiver, top right corner of the screen, just getting a head start. Got to know the snap count there. And Tulsa did a good job there of making Florida Atlantic show their hand. They saw that they were going to blitz, but tough job there by the true freshman to jump, and now that forces them to have to kick a field goal.
49-yard attempt here for Seth Morgan. We've already knocked one through from 36 on the other hash. From 49, plenty of leg. That one's going to sneak in. And a pair of field goals here from Seth Morgan. Tulsa takes advantage of the defensive stop on the fake punt. 10-6 midway through the second quarter. A difficult mistake by the young wideout, Darnell G, on the 4th down, potential 4th down play, moved him back 5 yards. But Tulsa still connecting on the field goal to make it 10-6 midway through the second quarter. As a look at head coach Trey Lamb, I asked him, what was priority number 1 when you took over this program this last offseason? What did you identify as necessary first steps? And he said, look, first thing, we needed to make football enjoyable again. I felt like the joy had been taken out of the locker room. He said there wasn't much left of a locker room to begin with. A lot of people hit the portal after the coaching change. So he said priority number one, make football fun again. Number two, put a roster together. And he thinks they played with discipline this year. They generally don't do dumb things, don't beat ourselves. He wants to accumulate a little bit more talent and make the plays when the moment of truth happens. That two-point conversion last week comes to mind.
It certainly seems like the culture is starting to change for Tulsa. And it's just a matter of continuing to build that roster. The big thing for Trey Lamb is that his budget for building the roster is about to triple next season. So he has already been digging into who's going to be in the portal, who can he go get in January.
He said, if you watched us practice, you'd think we're 8-0 right now. That looks like a dangerous pass to the 30. Dom Henry comes down with it. Maria has more on the sideline.
Guys, and that's one thing that I've noticed in talking with multiple Tulsa players the past couple of weeks, really. They said they love playing for Coach Lamb. He is so confident and positive with them, and because of that, despite their record, they want to keep playing for him. They think it's completely changed, especially some of the returners mentioned how he brought in so much good culture that they want to continue and go out and play hard for him.
Yeah, it's a good point. He said, I think the team all understands we're in year one. He said, I truly believe the wins are going to come. I can honestly say as the year has progressed, we've gotten better. And look, this is a 2-6 team, 0-5 in conference play. They go down 10-0 on the road, and you're seeing the fight right now out of this Tulsa side. 3rd and 5. 6:48 to play. Veldkamp, corner routes, Cox in some extra yardage after the catch from Brandon Hoke, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale.
That's a really nice throw there by Veldkamp. That was tight coverage, but he put it exactly where he had to let Hoke pick up that first down.
Pinpoint throw, empty backfield, gets it out quickly. Hoke again, a pair of catches the last 2 plays. Came into this game with 7 catches on the season. 2nd down and short.
And Veldkamp has stayed patient, taking advantage of the off coverage that Tulsa's showing you, taking those underneath throws.
Staying empty, designed run. Veldkamp has a blocker, stumbles down across the 45. Just sprinkle that in there every now and then. They want to protect Veldkamp, but he'll run it.
Whenever they need to move the chains, they trust Veldkamp to be able to tuck it and go, and they get a box that they like. They feel like their O-line can block it up. Just little QB draw, move the chains, and he's looking out of his ear hole there on the ground. That doesn't feel good.
That's not how he wants that helmet placed. Put up great numbers at Western Kentucky. He was recruited by Zach Kitley when he was there in Bowling Green before Kitley went to Texas Tech. Play clock running down here, gets it off. Gonna take a deep shot. Far sideline, Messer's all by himself. Touchdown, Owls. That's the connection all season long. 44 yards, FAU with the deep strike.
And that was a great route by Easton Messer, and a matchup that FAU loves. Getting Messer one-on-one with a safety, and he just juked him out of his shoes basically on the route, made him fall down, got wide open, and Veldkamp just put it right on him. It's going to be on the left side of the screen, and Messer just so wide open because he ran a great route and got Jalen Kennedy on skates.
And the PAT from Garrison Smith makes it 17-6. 2nd touchdown of the season for Easton Messer, who came into this game 2nd in the country in receptions. After putting on the moves, this one was a walk-in. Veldkamp to Messer. Owls up 11. Big touchdown pass from Caden Veldkamp to Easton Messer. They've been doing that for years. From Bowling Green, now in Boca. The Owls are more than glad to have those two in South Florida.
And I guarantee you Caden Veldkamp was smiling when he got to the line of scrimmage and saw the look that Tulsa was in. He's like, all right, here we go. Best friend in the slot, one-on-one safety touchdown right here. And they dialed it up.
Zach Kitley was talking about Veldkamp, said, I don't even think he scratched the surface of how good he can be, as the fair catch called for here by Tulsa. And again, this is nothing new between the pair of them. You look at some of the numbers from last season. Messer has already surpassed that 55 reception mark by a significant margin. And Veldkamp loves having Messer in town with him.
Messer up to 71 now receptions on the season. Best friends, always together. Coming from Western Kentucky over to Florida Atlantic and playing in a very high volume passing offense, having a lot of fun.
It starts at the 25 as Allen motions behind Hayes. He'll get the carry. Allen finding a crevice and spinning forward for an extra few yards to 34. Maria has some more.
Well, it's been really cool to watch that Easton Messer, Caden Veldkamp connection here on the sideline, guys. Not only when they're on the playing field, but on the sideline as well. They're constantly communicating. Caden will throw to Messer when he's taking some time off, and then also they're just constantly communicating with each other and head coach Zach Kitley. So they're best friends off the field, they're best friends on the sidelines, and they have a great connection when they get in the game together.
And, you know, it feels like it could even be taken to a more efficient and productive level in the passing game this year. Look, FAU is still second in the country in a couple of those passing departments. As Tulsa gets a nice first down after the big run from Hayes, but they feel they've been stretched a little bit by the lack of the run game. Again, last in the league. They can get about 30 to 40 more yards per game, be closer to 150. You may see even more explosive plays as Allen bounces outside into some space and diving forward near first down yardage.
Tulsa's starting to move the ball again now, and they really got to get in the end zone. They've had to settle for 2 field goals. Florida Atlantic starting to pull away. Good blocking up front. Great vision there by Allen to see that hole, make a couple guys miss, and get it into a 2nd and 1.
Owls making some defensive substitutions. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half.
Now Tulsa slowing down the tempo here, wanting to get a look at FAU's defensive look.
Trying to stretch out this drive. Allen, heavy workload, shouldered right at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be short. Good contact immediately by Bryce Langston, team captain.
Now the LSU transfer at defensive tackle there, big 300-pounder, just shedding his block, making that stop. And he's going to have to do it again here on 3rd and 1. And Tulsa's going to try to probably run the football again here. And really in the short yardage, they like to run Baylor Hayes as well, the quarterback.
Richardson now in the backfield. Trying to run some clock here on this drive too. This is Richardson, and he has enough for first down yardage. This is a Tulsa running back room guided by Cam Martin, who last year was at UCF, where he worked one-on-one, of course, with RJ Harvey, Broncos 2nd-round pick. Had an explosive year with the Knights last season under Gus Malzahn.
And a really good push up front by the Tulsa O-line on that last play, especially the center, Simon Wilson, just blowing FAU off the ball and picking up the first down.
Hayes keeps it. Fooled the defense initially and does well to get outside. Bounce out for about 6 yards. Already 230 plus total yards of offense for Tulsa. They had 447 last week. That was the 2nd highest output of the season. So they're on pace to best that here today. Yet still just 2 field goals to show for it.
And Tulsa's run a ton of plays. They're at 48 plays so far, and they've gone high tempo. They've had the ball a lot, couple long drives, but they just haven't been able to finish those drives. And something they're going to have to do right here is
that is the 2-minute timeout.
They're putting together a nice drive and trying to not leave FAU with much when it's done. 2-minute timeout. Back after this. Welcome back to Flagler Credit Union Stadium. FAU with a 17-6 lead here over Tulsa with the Golden Hurricane driving. Trying to get some points on their final first half possession. 6 plays, 39 yards, and 3 minutes on this drive thus far. Slowing the tempo down now, but these two have shown how fast the pace can be throughout the course of this first half. 2nd and 4. Batted down at the line of scrimmage off the pressure from the edge.
Jaden Sweeney coming in on the blitz, just getting in Baylor Hayes' face and knocking that pass away. Hayes tried to alter the arm angle to get it out, but Sweeney knocks it down.
Tulsa is over 100 yards rushing in this first half. It's the 3rd consecutive game. They've broken 100 since a couple tough rushing outings against Tulane and Memphis. They need 5 yards here. Extending, giving off. A.J. Allen bruising forward right to the marker. This should move the chains.
Yeah, A.J. Allen's had a really good game today. He's the leading rusher for the Golden Hurricane. Gets a nice block there out in front from his tight end. Landon Lucas leading the way, and then lower in the pads to finish that run. Key first down pickup.
Allen's at 60 yards on 9 carries right now.
And Tulsa's slowing the tempo. They want to score, but they want to make sure that FAU does not get the ball back in this half.
They're managing this drive really well. Hayes off the play fake. Has some green grass in front of him. Tucks it. Wants a blocker with step toe there and gets to the 16. Composed all game long. Kamari Johnson put the pressure on, but Hayes gets out.
Florida Atlantic was in man coverage there, and only one receiver on that side of the field, so that there were no defenders in the area. So once Hayes is able to escape the pocket, he had a whole lot of room to work with.
Gain of 15 on the play. 127 left here. Allen remains the tailback. In motion G. He's getting out to the perimeter inside the 10.
And A.J. Allen getting him a block there. It's been a really tough type of day from Allen, the redshirt junior running back. He's ran hard. He's making
First
blocks.
charge timeout, Florida Atlantic. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 1:19.
The Owls want to start conserving some time for one final first half possession themselves. Know how quickly they can move the football.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic can score in a hurry. They only need about 45 seconds or so if they want to try to go down the field. So Kitley using that timeout to make sure he can get the ball back if Tulsa scores here, or even if they can stop them on downs. But really key for Tulsa to put it in the end zone here. The way Florida Atlantic's been playing offensively, field goals are not going to win you this game. I think Trey Lamb even told us that during the week. He knows field goals are not going to win this game. They're going to have to score touchdowns.
Kind of a strange game for Tulsa. They've been moving the football effectively. They're nearly at 259 total yards of offense. Yet still just 2 field goals at this juncture. They turned FAU over at the goal line as well.
Yeah, and they've had a couple of drives end in Florida Atlantic territory on 4th downs. So just got to finish those drives, and they're getting into the Foley zone right now. Brody Foley, big number 80, is who they like to go to down here inside the 10.
2nd down and 3 after the Owls timeout. To the far side, flag flies at the 10. As Hayes didn't have much room to operate with.
Now Trey Lamb's saying first down. He thinks that one's on Florida Atlantic, but we're going to have to check and see.
Offside. Defense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Zach Kitley not happy about that one. Gavench Marcelin jumping offside for Florida Atlantic and giving Tulsa a free first down.
So just inside the 5. Tulsa with a real chance here. Have yet to get in the end zone. A.J. Allen behind Hayes. Allen gets the football, submarining forward, lost the football, scooped up, and no one is in front of FAU. Demarius McGee might go the distance here. Scoop and score, FAU.
That is a game-changing play. Demarius McGee has been on top of things all game long. Great recognition all game, making plays, and he sees that football on the ground, scoops it up, and takes it to the house, and that completely changed the game.
96 yards on the return. Allen was right at the goal line. As the ball popped out, McGee slipped the first tackle, and no one was catching him from there.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Second
they take a
charge
look.
timeout for Tulsa. He's challenging the ruling of the field of a fumble and a touchdown.
Now, Trey Lamb wants to make sure that was a fumble. Allen was close to the goal line. I don't think he was close enough to get the ball across, but they're going to check and make sure that the ball came out before he was down.
In Tulsa terms, Patrick, that would be a country fumble.
Yes, that was a country fumble. And McGee knew it. Tulsa got a good push up front. Allen's up in the air, and the ball's out. His knees are still up, and the ball's already out. I don't think that one's going to be able to be overturned. Another angle. Zaire Horton making that initial hit. Ball's out. Nothing on the ground for Allen there. That's a clear fumble. A couple linebackers and Horton and Stolsky getting in on the hit. And after that ball comes out, I think that's clearly a fumble. But watch the Demarius McGee's eyes here. He just sees that thing. His eyes get big. He sees that thing on the ground, and he's like, here we go. Nobody's in front of me. I'm taking this to the house.
96 exhilarating yards. Demarius McGee. And how about Horton, who was more of a special teams guy last year? Big time forced fumble. Both teams with just critical mistakes inside the 5-yard line today.
And Tulsa's O-line was really blocking well on that drive. Allen was running hard. They found what was working for him. It looked like if that drive had continued, they were going to punch one in and make this a ball game at 17-13 or 14 if they could get the 2-point conversion. And just that's a 14-point swing right there for Florida Atlantic to be able to force that fumble and take it to the house. And they're taking a while to look at this one. I guess the other thing you could look at is if his wrist or his elbow was down, but to me, he's completely off the ground when that ball comes out.
They're officially scoring that a 95-yard return at the moment. Just completely changing the tenor and the outlook, the feel of this game, in which Tulsa treading water for a bit. But it kept up the fight and put themselves in position to really put some game pressure on FAU towards the end of the half.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Tough break there for Tulsa, because they were about to get right back in this football game, and that's the kind of year it's been for the Golden Hurricane. They've been close.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's a fumble and a touchdown. Tulsa is charged a timeout.
A difficult moment for A.J. Allen, who spent some time between Nebraska and Miami, was at FIU in the spring before coaching change. Made the decision to transfer here to Tulsa, and has really had a nice game today here in the first half before that moment.
Yeah, Allen only had 4 rushing yards since September 27th coming into the game, and then he blows up for 59 today, but a tough break on the goal line there.
And the PAT from Garrison Smith is through. 24-6, a 14-point swing. Owls rolling.
Unlock more sports for one unbeatable price. Get unrivaled coverage all year long. Introducing the new ESPN Fox One bundle.
The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Well, the task is much more difficult now for this Tulsa side. 24-6 our score, 58 seconds left in the first half. That shockingly does not break the school record for the longest fumble return for a touchdown. Torian Osborne back in 2001 had a 99-yard run back, but it's now the second longest in FAU history. As Baylor Hayes looks on.
Demarius McGee will take that. He'll take the second longest fumble return in history. It's still a touchdown.
You saw how wide his eyes were as he scooped that up. Realized nobody was catching him. Presley able to get out past the 20. So 53 seconds, one timeout here. Trey Lamb, always an aggressive coach. You wonder how he might approach this towards the end of the half after that back-breaking play.
I think he's going down the field here. He's looking to score. I mean, that's what Tulsa has to do to stay in this ball game. And Florida Atlantic's going to get the ball to start the second half. So the Golden Hurricane have to go and score here. They've got time, 53 seconds. They've got a timeout. Clock stops to move the chains or if you go out of bounds.
They'll start at the 23. Quick check down is through the hands of Richardson.
And Florida Atlantic has done a good job defensively today of keeping the big tight end Brody Foley in check. 2 catches, 17 yards. And the young freshman wide receivers for Tulsa haven't been able to make plays on the outside either. Josh Smith had 4 catches for 112 in their last game against Temple. Does not have a catch yet today.
Richardson lined up wide. 7 receivers do have a catch here in this first half. Foley off his fingertips, picked. Owls another turnover. Chris Keys Jr. this time. And FAU is going to have a chance to score again before the end of the half. Late flag flies in on the far side after the play as well.
How about the turnovers for Florida Atlantic? They've been begging for them. They had 3 on the entire season coming in today. Now they got 2 picks and a fumble recovery. Foley's wide open, just hits him right in the hands. Couldn't pull it in. And it goes right to Chris Keys.
After the play, personal foul, intercepting team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, Florida Atlantic.
So that'll make getting points a little more difficult here towards the end of the half. How about, again, Patrick, you just alluded to it, the turnovers, which have been such a problem for the Owls. Last in the country in turnover margin. They go all season without a pick. 2 of them in the first half today. And that's just how it goes.
The break's finally starting to go Florida Atlantic's way. They've dropped some interceptions this year, but Chris Keys getting his hands on that one. Tips and overthrows, got to get those. Chris Keys got that one.
I'll go to Sands in the flats. Good block by Dom Henry. Sands needs to get out of play here and does.
And Florida Atlantic's going to look to put one in the end zone here as well. And a couple timeouts with 36 seconds left and in great position to at least get a field goal, but they're looking to score a touchdown and put this game out of reach.
An absolutely deflating conclusion to this half for Tulsa. We're about to make it a 17-13 game. Veldkamp, all sorts of time. Wheel route broken up. Zach Williams getting a paw to it. Needed to. That could have been trouble.
A touchdown saver there by Zach Williams. A shallow sting route there from Jay-Sean Platt. They get a couple of post routes on the top of the formation there to clear out the defense. And Tulsa playing zone, and Platt's wide open, but Williams is able to recover in time to save a touchdown.
30 seconds left, 3rd and 6. And drew him offside. It's a free play. Veldkamp going deep immediately. Platt is target. Got him at the 10.
A nice job there by Veldkamp, recognizing he's got a free play. Beautiful throw, just dropping it in the bucket, right where he needed to put it for Platt. And nice concentration on this catch. Veldkamp knows it right away.
Defense, number 10. Penalties declined. Result of the play is a first down.
And really plenty of time here for FAU to operate with. 26 seconds, a pair of timeouts. Starting at the 11-yard line now.
And with 2 timeouts, they could even run the ball if they want to, if they get a favorable look. Probably not on this down.
Jabari Smith in on this set. Veldkamp towards the corner. He wants Messer. He's got him again. Second touchdown from Messer today. 11 yards, and the Owls have extended this lead at the end of the first half.
The same exact situation as the previous touchdown to Messer. They get him one-on-one with the safety, runs a corner route, and Florida Atlantic loves that matchup every time. And Messer, a great route runner, creates separation. Another great throw from Veldkamp.
Tulsa was yards away from making this a 17-13 game about 10 minutes ago of real time. It's 31-6 moments later. Just a shocking finish to this half, and Tulsa is going to have to figure some things out in the locker room.
Yeah, just an incredible swing in the final minute and a half of this game. 2 turnovers from Tulsa, 1 near the goal line, another in their own territory, and Florida Atlantic doing everything they could to take advantage of those turnovers. They've been dying to get turnovers all year. They finally got them, and they have capitalized on them.
How do you evaluate that decision by Tulsa to be aggressive there on the last possession, right after the scoop and score? Look, there's 4 games left to play in the season. They're winless in conference play. It feels on the surface that's the obvious decision, but how do you evaluate that?
I think it's absolutely the right move. I mean, you got to go and try and win the football game and take every opportunity you can to try and score, because you know Florida Atlantic's going to do the same thing. Kitley's going to keep his foot on the gas and try to put as many points up as he can. So Trey Lamb knew, hey man, we've got to go and score here, guys, or else we're going to be in trouble. So I like the call. They had a great call on the interception play too. Their best player, Brody Foley's wide open.
And going short on the kickoff there. Tulsa able to fall on top, trying to catch Golden Hurricane by surprise.
They were maybe trying to squib it, and you see the graphic there. Florida Atlantic came into the game with a -14 turnover margin, worst in the country. They are +2 today because they forced 3 turnovers.
That's going to give Tulsa a chance to generate something here at the end of the half.
I might be able to get 2 or 3 plays, try and put one in the end zone.
Hayes going to launch it downfield. 5 yards in front of Tempest. 8 seconds left.
And they have a timeout, so I think if you can get a short completion here, maybe pick up 5 to 10 yards, get you a little bit closer, and then let Hayes just chuck one in the end zone. Tulsa huddling up here. They'll probably burst to the line, try and hide their formation.
Hayes again, decent pocket now. We'll have to roll out. 3 seconds left. And Tempest took a big hit as he went out of play, and the clock hit 0. Well, to finish the half.
Time ran out during the play. That's the ruling on the field.
Trey Lamb saying, well, wait a second here. Let's make sure we don't have a second left.
Hayes has got to have a little bit more sense of urgency there, recognize the clock, and try to get that play over with.
The ruling that time ran out during the half is under further review.
Half the Owls are making their way to the locker room. They're going to take another look at this to make sure.
Yeah, Hayes just taking a little bit too much time there. He's got to have that clock in his head, knowing that he's got to either throw that ball away or make sure that play concludes with time on the clock so they have a chance to throw it in the end zone. And we'll check and see. Maybe they will still get that opportunity, as Tempest was right on the boundary there if he got out of bounds before the clock ran out.
And they're still well out of field goal range despite the gain of 7.
Yeah, it'd have to be a Hail Mary if they end up with anything left on the clock.
Tulsa showed a lot of good things in that first half. It's got to be disconcerting for this staff to see the score line despite nearly 300 yards.
With 1 second on the clock, the game clock will start on the snap.
So they do get 1 second to work with. One final play before the half.
Yeah, it looked like that was a good call. Tempest able to just get out of bounds with 1 tick left on the clock, and looking for a Hail Mary here from Tulsa. Just get 4 receivers into the end zone and let Baylor Hayes chuck it up for a jump ball.
And FAU seeing
Second
how
charge
Tulsa's
timeout,
lined up.
Florida Atlantic. 30-second timeout.
We'll take a 30-second timeout first.
And the Owls just want to make sure that everybody knows what they're supposed to do on this play. Make sure you're in good position. You don't need to try to make an interception here. Just knock the ball down, because if it gets tipped up in the air, that's when Tulsa could have a chance at making a play. And Trey Lamb's got to be sick right now with the way this first half has ended. I mean, Tulsa is right there inside the 5-yard line with a chance to make it a 17-13 game. And Florida Atlantic scoops up a fumble, takes it the other way for 95 yards. Tulsa then throws a pick on the next drive, and the Owls put it in the end zone again. I mean, that fumble completely changed this ball game.
Tulsa has 4 drives of 10 plays or more. 2 of those drives went for 70 and 80 yards, and they have 6 points to show for it. Final play of the half. Hayes rolls, sets his feet, launches down the field. It's going to be short of the goal line, nearly a 3rd pick of the first half. Jaden Sweeney probably liked that back just to have it for his resume, his stat sheet. He knocks it to the ground, and that will end the first half. FAU with a 31-6 lead, taking advantage of the turnovers. A scoop and score. 2 interceptions after 0 all season long entering this game.
Florida Atlantic only outgaining Tulsa by 12 yards, 277 to 265, but those turnovers made a big difference.
All right, let's toss it down to Maria with head coach Trey Lamb.
Coach, 2 costly turnovers late in that first half. What will the message be to your guys at halftime to be better in the second 2 quarters?
Yeah, I mean, we got 265 yards of offense and possessed the ball for over 3/4 of the half. So we're playing pretty good. Can't turn the ball over 1-yard line. It goes 100 yards the other way, and then our best player drops the ball right in his hand. So I don't know if we're playing afraid. I don't know what our deal is right now, but we got to come out and have a great second half and keep fighting.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys.
Coach Maria, appreciate it. A 95-yard scoop and score right as Tulsa was about to punch it in. A.J. Allen had a good half, but he would like this back. Demarius McGee went coast to coast. The Owls feeling good, having some fun on homecoming. 31-6.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Travelpiece. Another action-packed week occurred in the American, which means it's time for the best part of the week, top plays. This is what we've got for you. Starting with some women's soccer, Rice and Tulsa. Keep an eye on the Golden Hurricanes' Maggie Sim-Smith. She has the ball right here, and she boots it to the back of the net. We'll head over to the football field for play number 4, UConn and UAB. The lateral pass over to Brandon Hawkins Jr., and he's going to take off. Dodging multiple Husky defenders, he'll run all the way to the end zone. More women's soccer for you, South Florida and Florida Atlantic. Gentiana Fatai saving South Florida's season. Bulls win this one. Brendan Sullivan and Jake Retzloff played quarterback for Tulane in this football game, but the person with the ball right there is Jimmy Callaway. He's a wide receiver, and he lets this one fly. Omari Hayes comes up with the catch and the touchdown. Navy and North Texas was the game that we had circled all week long in the American because these are two of the top teams in the conference. Blake Horvath with the ball, throws it away. Quentin Hammonds jumping up to make the one-handed pick. If you see a top play this week, make sure you use the hashtag American Top Plays on social. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+. Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Travelpiece. What a year so far in women's soccer. We've seen American teams climb in the national rankings, superb individual performances, and so much more. There's still more games to be played, but first, let's take a moment to recognize our major award winners. Memphis's Ashley Henderson was named the American Offensive Player of the Year. Henderson leads the American with 19 points in conference play with 7 goals and 5 assists. She has 24 points overall on 9 goals and 6 assists. For the second year in a row, Finley Lavin is the Defensive Player of the Year. The Memphis junior helped lead the Tiger defense to allow just 3 goals in 10 conference games. The Midfielder of the Year in the American is Memphis's Ai Kitagawa. Kitagawa has 8 goals and 3 assists on the season and becomes the 4th Tiger to earn the Midfielder of the Year honors. She's also the 4th player in American history to earn an individual award after winning the Freshman of the Year, which she won in 2024. There are 2 Freshmen of the Year in the American. Ellis Kelly of Memphis is one of them. Kelly recorded 5 goals and 4 assists during the regular season and becomes the 6th Tiger to earn the Freshman of the Year honor. Jaden Jigger of Rice was also named Freshman of the Year. Jigger helped lead the Rice defense to a 1.47 goals against average while also providing 2 goals and 4 assists. She is the 2nd OWL player to earn an individual honor in the American. The Goalkeeper of the Year is Memphis's Abby Kudla. In 16 games played, she's allowed just 6 goals. She boasts an .812 save percentage and a 14-0-2 record. The Coaching Staff of the Year award goes to Memphis. Tiger head coach Brooks Monaghan and his staff led Memphis to a 15-0-2 record in the regular season, 9-0-1 in conference play, and to a number 3 ranking in the current United Soccer Coaches poll. It is the 3rd time the Tigers staff has been honored. For more on the Women's Soccer Awards, you can visit our website at theamerican.org. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Travelpiece. The men's soccer season has been nothing short of exciting. Multiple teams battled until the very end for that #1 spot. There's still more soccer to be played, but before we get to it, let's take a moment to recognize our major award winners.
Florida Atlantic's Mamadou Diarra is the Offensive Player of the Year. Diarra finished with 6 goals, 4 assists, and 16 points on the season while helping his Owls secure a share of the American Conference regular season championship. The Defensive Player of the Year is Luke Adams of Tulsa. The redshirt sophomore helped the Golden Hurricane go 3-3-2 in conference play and earn the 6th seed in the American Conference Championship. Charlotte's Ben Fisher is the Midfielder of the Year. The redshirt junior finished the regular season with 1 goal, 5 assists, and 7 points on 10 shots. There are 2 goalkeepers of the year in the American. Leo Stritter of Charlotte led the conference in goals against average at .804. He had 45 saves on the year and allowed just 12 goals. Jaheim Wickham of South Florida shares the honor with Stritter. He led the conference in saves with 54 and had a save percentage of .711. The freshman of the year is Samuel Manufor from Charlotte. He started in 14 games and was featured on a 49er defense who allowed the least amount of goals of any team in the American. After sharing a part of the regular season championship, head coach Joey Worthen and the Florida Atlantic coaching staff was honored as the coaching staff of the year. The Owls finished 10-3-2 overall and 5-1-2 in conference play.
For more on the men's soccer awards, you can visit our website at theamerican.org. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+.
numbers don't quite tell the tale of this game so far. The disjointed performance over the first couple quarters. 133, 32 rushing yards, Patrick, for Tulsa. They average 150 on this season. They're almost to that in the first half, but still the scoreline warped.
Well, the big number right there is the turnovers. 3 for Tulsa. Florida Atlantic has turned that into 17 points, changed the game at the end of that first half with a couple of those turnovers turning into 2 touchdowns for the Owls.
Our Maria Tropes was with Coach Kitley as they came out of the locker room.
Coach, 2 key turnovers for your team in that first half. How do you want to see them continue to do that in the second?
Yeah, populate the ball. Tip balls, overthrows, punching at the ball down there. It's been a game changer for us. We haven't created a lot of turnovers coming into this game, so it's been awesome to see our defense attacking the ball. We got to do the same thing on offense. We got to protect the ball. We get inside the 5-yard line, we got to punch it in.
How can you continue to do that on offense then?
Yeah, I mean, we got to do the little things right. It just came down to a bad technique there that we used there by one person. So just clean those things up. And again, I think we're playing a pretty clean game other than that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Guys?
Maria, thanks, and everybody getting involved on the act for FAU. Kate Veldkamp having a solid performance, taking care of the football. Shields Dutton on the ground, Messer and Platt through the air. Everyone involved here for FAU.
4 plays of 20-plus yards for the Owls. They've been explosive on offense. Jaysean Platt with 2 of them. Messer had 1. Shields Dutton had 1. Veldkamp's look good in the pocket, but really at the bottom of the screen there, 3 turnovers, 17 points off of them. Florida Atlantic had forced 3 turnovers the whole season coming into this game. The defense gets 3 today, and the offense able to turn them into points, and that has been the difference in this game.
You felt they were due at some point, and it's all coming together for Kate Veldkamp and the Owls here today, up 31-6. When we talked with FAU defensive coordinator Brett Dewhurst just about the recent couple games or recent form, and said, look, our kids, they usually always play hard, compete. Sometimes it's a missed execution on 3rd down or not taking the ball away or finishing the game. He said Navy was the first time maybe they didn't have the elite edge that is the standard with this program. They're certainly comporting themselves with that today.
Well, I think the bye week certainly helped Florida Atlantic and being able to get some of their older guys a little bit of rest. Just take it easy a little bit, let the younger guys scrimmage and get some experience. The older guys heal up, get healthy, and then they've come out and played really well today against Tulsa.
Owls start with the football here, up 25. 277 yards of offense in that first half. Keep it on the ground. Shields Dutton, first carry of the half. Rumbles forward for a couple yards.
And Zach Kitley really wanted to run the football better today, and the Owls have done that. Over 7 yards per carry. They've widened the offensive line, splits a little bit to try to open up those run lanes.
Approaching 100 yards. Veldkamp, that's picked off at the 30. No, Messer got to it. I thought that was in the hands of Robinson. Messer got the football.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Robinson dove and thought he had it. It somehow squeaked through there, and Messer ended up with it.
He jumped the route. Messer a little gimpy after the play.
Now, Veldkamp had some pressure coming off the edge. Had to get rid of it. Nice diving attempt. Oh, he had it. It's bobbling off of Robinson. He got hurt, and then Messer just scoops it off of him.
The ruling of the catch is under further review.
Now, Robinson had that pick, and then he got hurt and just let go of the ball. It bounced around, and Messer ends up with it.
So they're reviewing this to see whether that hit the ground. Was it a catch? Did it continue? Did it bounce off the leg of Robinson there?
On first look for me, it looked like it bounced off his leg. I don't think it hit the ground, but we'll take some looks at it here. Great job to jump that route. It's still up, and great job by Messer to recognize it and snag that ball. We're going to have to see right there. It hits the ground. Before it gets to his leg, he's got it in his hands, then it goes down to his stomach, hits the ground right there. So that's going to be an incomplete pass. Right there, it's on the ground, and no control at that point by Robinson.
But if that would have been a complete pass to Messer, I mean, what do you do if you're told? I mean, that's just symbolic of the kind of day it's been.
It's going to be the weirdest reception he's ever had. But yeah, I mean, how can you get a break any worse than that for Tulsa? But
they'll take it in completion.
It's going to take a few yards away from the Owls and put them in a 3rd and long.
Certainly could have jump-started their second half efforts here.
Yeah, that would have been interesting if Robinson had held on to that pick. If Tulsa had, if they could have taken advantage of that momentum and changed things around a little bit, but.
After review, the pass was incomplete. It will be 3rd down at the 28-yard line.
Great effort nonetheless by Robinson there, and 3rd down upcoming for the Owls. 4 for 7 on 3rd down today. Owls haven't gone 3 and out today.
And late in that half, Florida Atlantic was able to get Easton Messer matched up one-on-one with safeties a couple of times and did it for big plays. Tulsa looking like they're going to blitz after that hard count from Veltkamp. Gets them to show their hand a little bit. Looks like both linebackers were coming.
They do bring pressure. Veltkamp has it out quickly through the hands of Messer, and Tulsa forces the first 3 and out from FAU today.
Maybe a little alligator arms from Easton Messer there. Zach Williams was coming. He was ready to lay the hit on him. And Messer pulled back a little bit. It falls incomplete. Good play by the sophomore safety for Tulsa.
That's step 1 for the Golden Hurricane, who continue to play hard. What do you think the message, the verve in that Tulsa locker room was at the half?
Well, I think Trey Lamb's telling them, look, guys, I mean, we're right there. We're about to make it a 1-score game. We're only 12 yards outgained by them in the first half. We're playing good football. We just got to clean up the little things, hold on to the ball.
Lupo's punts goes out of play. Almost felt just, you could sense a little exasperation at you know, his sense how the end of that first half proceeded.
Yeah, when Trey Lamb was talking to Maria, you could tell he's frustrated, and rightly so. I mean, because Tulsa had moved the ball, and they were holding on to the football, keeping Florida Atlantic's offense off the field for most of the half. And you see the numbers here. Baylor Hayes, 133 yards, threw a couple picks. He's ran the ball well. A.J. Allen had a breakout game rushing the football, but lost that fumble at the goal line.
Allen navigating back to the far side. His quarterback's giving him a block. And first down yards for A.J. Allen, who had that critical turnover at the goal line to end the first half. And you know Tulsa's bringing some tempo, even more urgently so here in the second half now.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to step on the gas here tempo-wise and in terms of aggressiveness to try to come back.
They fake the pitch. Hayes now goes to the flat. Allen, 3 blue jerseys, dives across the 40. Look at an MO on Hayes heading into this game was young player, taking care of the football, providing a spark. What do you feel has led to Hayes being a little flustered today?
It's just been, I mean, the interceptions, one, it's right in the hands of Brody Foley, and it pops out and ends up being a pick. That one's not Hayes' fault. And then the first one on the first drive of the game, they have a man beater called, and we're Tulsa's supposed to set a pick on a defender. What ends up happening is their receiver ends up getting picked, and he's a little slow to get to where the football is, and Hayes throws it where it should be. The receiver doesn't get there. It ends up getting picked. So a couple things that doesn't quite go Hayes' way turn into interceptions.
It's Leon Hart Jr., FAU linebacker, being attended to. We'll take a break. The training staff out. 31-6, third quarter. Leon Hart walking a little gingerly back to the sideline after going down following that previous play. He's been nicked up at different junctures of this season. Needing some more attending to on the sideline. The junior from Miami Gardens, transferred in from Marshall. Second leading tackler this season. Played for Uncle Luke at Miami Edison in his high school days. 3rd down and 4 for Tulsa. Hayes in the pocket. Slant route, that's caught. Step toe. Just secures first down yardage. Got a good spot at the 34. Therese Reed in on the tackle.
A good job by Hayes there, just going through his progressions. Wanted to go to Foley over the middle, wasn't there. Comes back to the backside and moves the chains.
Quickly to the line. Hayes rolls right. Pressure coming. Flicks it forward and out of play. Damon Allen with the QB hurry.
A little pressure on Hayes, and Florida Atlantic has done a good job today mixing up their coverages. They're typically a heavy man coverage team. They've played some more zone today. They've been able to cap off those deep routes from Tulsa and make Hayes be patient and take the little throws underneath.
And Damon Allen's been active throughout this game as well. I've called his name a couple times. 2nd and 10. Hayes, another handoff to Allen. His 12th carry of the evening. He's out to the 29.
And they could run it again here on 3rd down if they want, because this is clearly 4-down territory for Tulsa with the way the score is, down 31-6.
They need 5. Hayes finds a man at the 25 and dove forward for an extra 2 yards. They use their running backs out of the backfield in the passing game. Allen another catch. 4th down and about ½ yard to go.
I thought Allen might have had it with that extra effort at the end there, but he's just short. Tulsa going to go for it.
Wonder if you see that T formation we see a couple times this year from Tulsa.
I'm thinking maybe Brody Foley Wildcat. They've run that at the goal line, but nope, they're going to go to a normal formation here. They've gotten a good push up front today from the O-line.
Nearly drew the Owls off. This is Allen. He's got enough.
Just barely. The interior of that O-line for Tulsa doing a good job to get that first down. Sean Hill, left guard.
Tulsa 3 for 5 now on 4th down. Allen another catch. Surveys. Scampers inside the 10. A.J. Allen. Good yards after catch. It's Tulsa plugging away here.
Well, Florida Atlantic has not been biting much on the play action fakes from Tulsa today as they try to go deep down the field off the play action, and then Hayes just has to check it back down to the running back with some space.
Allen got 13 by the end of that. So the inside give, swung down just outside the 5. Allen's got 14 carries today. Richardson 8. A little slow getting up. Couple players in that pile.
Yeah,
Marcelin and Stolsky in.
Now, Marcelin and Allen were kind of tangled up there, and neither one of them could get up, and they're both on top of each other.
We saw Hart slow to get up just a couple minutes ago. Another FAU defender needing some time.
Now, Marcelin making the tackle on Allen, and it looks like maybe his teammate Stolsky fell on top of him, and they both get tangled up. The second time today, Marcelin's been down.
This drive, 10 plays, 49 yards, 338 thus far for Tulsa.
And Marcelin makes the hit. I didn't see anything noticeable of what could have hurt him, but both players clearly shaken up on the play. Well, Tulsa just looking to stay alive in this ball game, and they've focused on the ground game. The last drive, or the second to last drive of that first half, they moved the ball well on the ground and end up fumbling it right on the goal line. And starting off the second half here, moving the ball well on the ground, and they got to try to punch it in here after Marcelin gets helped out.
They've already surpassed their per game rushing totals. All right, taking a look around the American. How it looks right now, odds to reach the championship game. We've seen these teams start to beat up on each other a little bit. I mean, Tulane's beat Memphis. USF has beat North Texas. North Texas has beat Navy. Navy's beat Temple, who's been formidable this year. But obviously right now, North Texas and South Florida lead the pack.
I think South Florida and Tulane are the two best teams in the conference. You could make an argument for several others, but those are the two best to me. I don't know if those are the two that are going to make it to the conference championship game, because so many teams up there. I mean, North Texas's schedule is not real tough to end the year. They could end up in the title game. Navy's got a couple of tough ones down the stretch, but if they win those, they could be there.
And Navy's probably got the toughest schedule of those groups on the bracket. On the graphic. Hayes designed to run. Wrapped up by Nahon Barber.
Well, they had Foley on the outside in a one-on-one matchup that time. They were running it all the way, but if they could get that again, Brody Foley, their big tight end at 6'6" on the outside, he had a couple of big-time catches against Temple down in the red zone a couple weeks ago.
Actually a loss of 1 on the play for Barber. That's 4.5 tackles for loss this year. Tempest motions, 3rd and goal. Designed to roll out. Hayes looking. He'll run. He'll dodge and dive into the end zone. Hayes giving Tulsa some life here in the 3rd quarter.
All right, Baylor Hayes, how about that run? He's rolling out on the edge, just hoping somebody gets open. Florida Atlantic did a good job in their zone coverage to pick everybody up. As you watch at the top of the screen, the coverage, and then Hayes says, all right, I got to do this myself. Nice move to make a miss, and the dive to get in the end zone.
Now he dispatched Kamari Johnson there. And Hayes has Tulsa's first touchdown today. Her Golden Hurricane going to line up for 2. Trying to make this a 17-point game.
If you're going to have to go for 2, you want to do it early so you know what you need to get later in the game.
Richardson's the tailback. Play blown dead.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Try for points.
Trey Lamb, you can see the conversation. Did you hear me? Something got lost in communication there.
Yeah, in college, we have the helmet communicators now. It was just added last year where Trey Lamb is the play caller. He's talking in the headset. Baylor Hayes can hear him in his helmet, but maybe he didn't hear him all that well that time. They're still going to go for it anyway here, even though they're backed up 5 yards, try to get the 2 points.
And trying to make this a 2-touchdown, 1-field-goal game. Al's in zone. Hayes had it swatted down. A lot of traffic to deal with. Zaire Horton getting in the way. 2-point conversion, no good, but Tulsa at last finds the end zone. Their freshman QB showing some toughness here in Boca. 31-12. at beautiful downtown Boca Raton here in South Florida. This is the American on ESPN. FAU in Tulsa. South Florida skies. The Owls feeling good right now, up 19 points on Tulsa here on homecoming weekend. AJ Ricketts, Patrick Murray, Maria Triple Piece, glad to have you with us. And we were talking with Trey Lamb, and he was giving us some insight on Baylor Hayes and his role within the program and how well he'd been playing. He said he's hotter than a $2 pistol coming into this game. Thought no one else in the conference had played as well through the last 7 or 8 quarters. And he said, look, this is an audition of sorts the last 4 games. He's taken the role from Kirk Francis. He said, look, he's playing for a contract these last 4 games, and he knows that.
Absolutely. Baylor Hayes, I mean, a guy as a redshirt freshman that came over here from ETSU with Trey Lamb. They didn't think he'd be the starter. They thought he'd be kind of a young depth piece, and he's kind of taken over the job. And they're going to see if they can stick with him next year or if they need to go get a transfer. And he's not making any money now. Can Hayes prove himself down the stretch here and make some money next year?
Veldkamp going over the top on his first throw. That's caught across midfield. Nice snag. First catch of the game by Assad Wassim, who a couple of years ago was playing for Deion Sanders at Colorado, now making plays for FAU.
You can't have much better coverage than that, but Veldkamp with a beautiful throw right on the money and a nice one-handed grab by Wassim. The only thing that J.D. Drew could do better there is recognize that the football's coming and try to swat it away.
Gain of 27 yards. FAU into Tulsa territory. Up by 19, Veldkamp. Nothing doing on that run. Back to the line of scrimmage and that, and back to Hayes. Lamb said, we're putting all our eggs in his basket. The way he's playing makes us very comfortable as play callers. And this is going to be interesting perspective and evaluation for Tulsa to finish the regular season, how they approach the 2026 campaign. Veldkamp, open space to the 30. Wassim, another catch. Brought down just shy of the 25. Assad Wassim getting involved on the drive.
Wassim just finding some space in the zone coverage of Tulsa, sitting down in that spot, and Veldkamp finds him.
Veldkamp fakes the screen, steps forward in the pocket, bat it down at the 15-yard line. Good coverage defensively there. Elijah Green, who's tied for the national lead in interceptions with 5 this season.
Florida Atlantic looking for the screen and go there, pump the screen, get 2 verticals down the field. Tulsa covered that up on Veldkamp's left side, and then he tried to come backside, and Green was just blanketing Jay-Sean Platt.
Deion Sanders tweeted about Wassim when he announced that he was going to hit the transfer portal. Said, this kid can flat out play, just got caught in the numbers game, and I wanted him to go and have a chance to start somewhere because I care about him. A great young man and a Florida boy. He's very complimentary after he hit the portal, as he makes his 3rd catch of the drive. Gets a couple of yards on 2nd down.
And Florida Atlantic's going to keep the foot on the gas here. They want to put up some points, try to pull away, just run their offense.
Veldkamp, quick hitch. Wassim again. Be a yard short of the first down marker. And no doubt, no hesitation about the decision here. 4th and 1. Owls 0 for 1 on 4th down. Veldkamp takes a moment. No need for the Owls to be in a rush. Empty backfield. Tulsa brings 5. Veldkamp got it away. Completes. Jay-Sean Platt, the 4th down grab, and the Owls keep it moving.
A great poise in the pocket there from Veldkamp. He knew Tulsa was bringing the heat. They were going to have a couple free runners. He might get hit. He hung in there that extra half second for his receiver to get open.
Now with tempo, designed run, spins to avoid the tackle. Nakai Johnson did a good job to influence the play at the line.
And Zach Kedley wanted his guys to be better in the red zone offensively. Veldkamp had that fumble earlier down near the goal line. The Owls going to try to finish this drive in the end zone.
Loss of 2 on the play. They reverse it to Messer. He's going to throw it to Veldkamp right in front of the pylon. Trick play, it works. Messer probably wanted the touchdown pass, but it gets him on the doorstep. Quickly to the line now.
Yeah, Veldkamp made that catch, did everything he could, falling down.
Platts taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Owls lost 3 there. Elijah Green reading it well, 4th down. And FAU just going to settle with trying to go for 3 points here.
Yeah, at the 3-yard line, not quite close enough to just try to power it in. Go ahead and take the points with a big lead.
Be a 21-yard field goal from the right hash. Smith has already knocked one through today. And Smith has another. Good from 35 earlier, good from 21 there. Owls in the drive with points, 34-12. Well, FAU fans in good spirits right now. 5:34 to play, 3rd quarter. Owls well in control of this one. Tulsa did get a touchdown on their first second-half possession. Owls respond with a field goal. It's a 22-point lead as Taylor Hayes had perhaps his toughest performance to date since taking over the starting role. Trey Lamb exasperated at the end of the first half. Had a chance to make it 17-13 with another yard or two. Instead, it was staring at the wrong side of a 31-6 score line. Zach Kidley has to love what he's seeing. His first opportunity as a head coach. Comes from a coaching family. His dad, a national championship coach at Texas Tech. For more on that, we send it down to Maria.
Tech, he's one of the longest tenured coaches as a Red Raider head coach. And when we talked to Coach Kitley leading up to this season. He said that his dad, Wes, is one of the greatest influences as a head coach that he has. He's taught him so many things about leadership. He's also helped him just learning how to deal with and manage with people. He said that's one of the most important things that his dad has taught him as well. So that coaching apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Zach Kittley, the youngest head coach in the FBS.
Hayes finds Allen on the far side, able to get first down yardage and nearly to midfield. Well, I love when we talk about Wes Kittley. Pat, you know I'm a track and field guy. Anytime we can bring up Wes and his dominance at Texas Tech and what he's done in the sport of track and field, I love it. And Zach says I talk about him all the time because he's the best coach I've ever known. There's so much respect and admiration for the career that his dad has built in Lubbock.
Yeah, and it's interesting, the son of a track coach becoming a football coach, and especially Zach Kittley did not play football in college, played in high school, started out as a walk-on basketball player at Abilene Christian in college, but his dream was to be a football coach, and part of that came from his dad and watching the way that he built his relationships with his staff and his players throughout the years at Texas Tech.
And he really emphasized how a lot of his dad's career, as this is complete to fully near the first down marker, a lot of coaching track was transferable to how he evaluates how he wants to be a head coach in terms of adaptability and changing through the years and still winning and building relationships. Zach describes himself as a cross between old school and new school. He said he leans old school, but he knows he has to be a little new school in today's day and age.
And Zach Kittley is great with the X's and O's, but coaching is about so much more than the X's and O's too, and that's what he's learned from his dad.
He's on 3rd and 3. Had a great pocket, deep shot. Tempest, what a catch at the 15. Big play connection, and Tulsa's moving the football for the second consecutive drive here in the second half.
Tempest and Chris Tooley just battling there. Tempest coming from the slot, working against the nickel. They were getting physical, and Tooley just pulled up a little bit too early to try to make that pick, and a nice adjustment by Tempest.
Allen again out of the backfield. Taken down by the ankles at the 11. There's a gain of 31 on the completion to Tempest.
And Tulsa's not going to lie down in this ball game. They're pushing it down the field. They're going to try to come back, and Allen's got a problem with his shoe. Can't get it back on, and he's just going to have to deal with it and get in the backfield.
A fake to Allen. Hayes scrambling right. He's got space. Hayes putting the moves on again. Just denied his second touchdown by 2 yards. Hayes taking a beating today. Right back up. 1st and goal.
Gets hit at the end when he goes to the ground here. Stolsky flying in at the end and throwing a shoulder.
Allen, this time he hangs on, and Tulsa's in the end zone again. Allen, the former Cane, back in South Florida, 34-18.
Yeah, Tulsa trying to get right back into this game. They're trying to make it interesting. They're going to go for 2 here to try to make it a 14-point game.
The Golden Hurricane are not going silently into the night. Hayes can't avoid that. Good sack. Damon Allen got to the backfield. He's been close to Hayes a couple times. That time completes the play.
And Hayes has been able to dance out a lot of pressure like that the last few games, but Allen just hangs on for dear life. Gets him to the ground. But a 16-point game, just 2 possessions, couple touchdowns, couple 2-point conversions for Tulsa. And they've done a good job to fight and hang around in this one. They could have lied down 31-6. They're giving themselves a chance here.
You know who Baylor Hayes is reminding me right now? Is Georgia Tech quarterback Hayes King. He's giving Hayes King right now.
Yeah, Haynes King with that toughness factor and the escapability and being able to run downhill, and Baylor Hayes is has been able to escape a lot of trouble, but couldn't get away from Allen on that 2-point conversion. But he's leading Tulsa down the field, trying to get them back in the game.
You see why Trey Lamb is really high on this young quarterback. Refusing to go away. Willing to put his body on the line. 34-18. Are we send it down to Maria?
Well, you talk a little bit about Baylor Hayes and his confidence on the field, and if you have conversations with anybody surrounding the program, from the coaching staff to his fellow teammates, that's the main thing that they'll say. He's just a guy that the players want to play with and play for. They believe in him, and that was a big reason why he earned that starting job. Coach Lamb said that the guys just know that he can have success, and they want to do things for him on the field, and we're seeing that confidence, especially later on in this game, guys.
And just a little unlucky at times in the first half, but this is a player, this is a team that very easily could have let this game get further away from them. Toss play, Sands, he's going to lose 5 or 6 yards on first down. 31-6 at the half, the way that second quarter ended. This is a 2-score game right now. You got to give a lot of credit to Hayes and Tulsa for keeping this an interesting affair right now.
Yeah, credit to Trey Lamb and his coaching staff and this whole Tulsa team, because they could have been totally demoralized with the way the first half ended, with a couple of turnovers turning into a couple of FAU touchdowns. But Tulsa's continued to fight, and they're making this a ball game.
They put up nearly 400 yards of offense. Veltkamp goes down. Nakai Johnson wraps him up. Tulsa forced the 3-and-out on FAU's first second half possession. The defense is looking good again.
A left side of the screen, Johnson from his defensive tackle spot, just fighting through the card right there with power and putting a big-time hit on Veltkamp, and Florida Atlantic way behind the sticks.
Got past Mauricio Hines, making that start at left guard today. Just going to check it short to Messer on 3rd and 25.
Well, here we go. Tulsa's back in this game right now. They cut it down to a 2-score game. They get a stop, get a 3-and-out. Could have some good field position here. This punt's going to be important for both sides.
Little post-play conversation there. Tulsa trying to keep that competitive edge. We see another touchdown on the ensuing possession. Might get real interesting.
Well, Zion Booker, normally the punt returner for Tulsa, he is out today with an injury. So it's going to be
Tulsa nearly got to Lupo there. Tempest getting wide outside the hashes. Great return, Tempest inside the 40, and he steps out of play on a fabulous return. Tulsa's going to have excellent field position here.
Now, Grayson Tempest stepping in at punt returner for the injured Zion Booker. That's a big-time play right there. He got a huge block from his teammate as well to set him up. I think it might have been A.J. Allen, the running back, who made that block. And here's Baylor Hayes to see what he can do. And look on the right side of the screen here. You're going to see this block coming in right there, pushing across. That set Tempest up with some open field and picks up a big chunk.
Blocking of that nature on special teams, down 2 touchdowns, that's culture. Hayes steps forward, puts it over the top. Flag's gonna fly. He was looking for Micah Tees, his outside receiver. Demarius McGee might be the guilty party here.
And McGee's had a great game. He had the scoop and score. I think that one's gonna be on him for DPI.
Pass interference. Defense, number 32. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Now, McGee had good coverage, but Hayes tried to throw that back shoulder fade to the back shoulder of Tees. McGee grabbed on, did not let Tees come back to the football, and that draws the flag.
For a set of downs at the 24. Hayes avoids the rush, now gets tripped up. Lost about 2 on the play. Batiste gets there in the end. And again, Allen was the first to provide pressure.
Batiste on the right side of the screen. He gets double teamed, then he's able to fight off of it, and great pursuit to just grab the shoelace and pull him down.
A loss of 2 after the tackle from the former Tulane defensive lineman. Hayes flips it outside. Presley, another catch, and that'll end the third quarter. Tulsa, you can see a little belief on that Golden Hurricane sideline. But FAU still a comfortable advantage as we head to the fourth quarter at Boca Raton here on ESPN+. It's been a perfect second half offensively for Tulsa. 2 touchdown drives, and they're starting this third drive in great field position after the 32-yard punt return by Grayson Tempest. 3rd and 5. Handoff. Allen charging forward, putting moves on inside the 10. A.J. Allen, first down Tulsa.
And the Golden Hurricane riding the hot hand. Now, Allen's had a good game. Gets a good push from the right side of his O-line, breaking a tackle right at the line of scrimmage there. Stolsky, the leading tackler for Florida Atlantic, can't get Allen to the ground, and the drive continues.
Allen's approaching 100 yards. He has not backed down after the costly turnover. Hayes, all sorts of time. Now gets it off back of the end zone and out of play.
Oh, great defense there from Florida Atlantic. Tulsa going with the mesh concept. They got 2 shallow crossers, got all kinds of traffic over the middle, trying to create a pick where you get a Florida Atlantic defender to run into somebody else, you get somebody open, but the Owls stayed with all of it.
14 touchdowns on 21 red zone trips this year for Tulsa. Designed run. Hayes near side out at the 10. Lost a half a yard or so. Therese Reed in there at the end. And 3rd and goal. Golden Hurricane.
Well, Tulsa's definitely going to go for it on 4th down, so they don't have to necessarily get in the end zone here. I mean, you'd like to, but if they don't, they're going for it anyway. And this would normally be an area where they're looking to number 80, Brody Foley, but Florida Atlantic has really keyed on him today, especially down here in the red zone. So Baylor Hayes may have to look elsewhere.
Foley 3 catches for 22 yards today. Serviceable, but not the typical major impact he's proven he can give, particularly in that ECU game. 3rd down. Hayes will throw. Backpedaling. Now steps forward. Hayes got to get it off. Skips by 2 defenders, but Stolsky finished the job. Slow to get up after the play. And Stolsky's been everywhere on the field for FAU. Needs another moment here.
Well, play action, and Florida Atlantic has done a great job with their eye discipline all day. Look at the defenders just getting back there. They're not fooled. They cover up all the passes. Hayes has got a scramble. Stolsky makes the hit, but then he's injured at the end of the play. Checking out his midsection.
FAU's leading tackler this season. Spent some time at Minnesota. It really blossoms these last 3 games, 12+ tackles in each of them. It's the first time that's been done in 8 years here on the FAU defense.
And remember, Florida Atlantic's other linebacker, their weak side linebacker, Leon Hart, was injured early in the game. So if they were to lose Stolsky here too down near the goal line, that would be a blow.
Oh, Pat, the ball's at the 6 right here. You see value in a kick and a field goal, put it from 16 to 13?
I don't think so. I think you gotta keep pushing it. Try to make it a 1-score game. Stolsky with 10 tackles today. He's had 3 straight games with at least 12. He's a tough dude. I imagine we're going to see him again at some point. He's going to have to sit out this play.
They are going to go with the field goal. 23 yards from Seth Morgan. It's connected twice today. FAU conservative defensively. Just making sure no trickery would pay off. 34-21, that gets it down to 13. Tulsa very much in this. Florida Atlantic and Tulsa, 13-point game. The Golden Hurricane outscoring the Owls 15-3 here in the second half. But FAU still a comfortable lead as we take a look at some action around the American this weekend. Army just squeaking by a tough Casey Keeler team. 1 point. Of course, last night, the second half that got a little wacky there, but Tulane holding on against Memphis. So many teams, 5 or 6 teams with 1 loss in the conference race, Patrick. Who's going to play in this championship game?
Army's the defending champ. I think we're definitely going to have a new champ this year. Give me South Florida versus North Texas in the title game. The Bulls win it, and they go to the playoff. That's what I think.
That's a safe pick, but a good pick. We'll see how wacky it gets the rest of the way. If you look at what's to come the final 3 weeks, Navy's probably got the toughest schedule here. Yeah.
I'd say. Yeah, Navy's got the toughest schedule. North Texas has the easiest route to me. So I think the Mean Green end up in the title game. If South Florida can beat Navy, I think they're there as well. That's my prediction.
I say safe pick only because those 2 teams were the highest percentages. It's anyone's. It's going to be fascinating here the last few weeks. Shields Dutton, good run, first down. Shields Dutton, stiff arm across midfield. At last, the second half. Big play for the Owls.
Florida Atlantic needed that one, especially after Tulsa made it a 13-point game, and they get the handoff to Shields Dutton right up the middle. His second big run of the game. He had a 50-yarder earlier, and the Owls are going to need some points here.
Gain of 27. 2 of the 3 FAU drives in this second half had been 3 and outs. Shields Dutton is over 100 yards on the day. Wrapped up at the legs here.
Now Florida Atlantic in this half has gone punt, field goal, punt, and Tulsa has been able to creep back into this ball game after Florida Atlantic led 31-6 at the half.
It's a big day for Shields Dutton. He only had 193 yards heading into this game. 103 today. Watch out. Got it off just in time. Nice snare by Dom Henry. Gain of 4 on the reception by Henry. Was a prep star here in the state of Florida in high school.
Tulsa showing blitz. Florida Atlantic sees it. Now maybe going to get a chance to change up their play or shore up their protection.
Second and 6 option play. Veltkamp got hammered. Shields Dutton takes the pitch. Gets inside the 40-yard line. Remember, Zach Kitley told us.
Veltkamp is down. And he is in pain.
He got absolutely smoked right after that pitch. I hope that's just a stinger.
That is a tough sight for Florida Atlantic fans. Option play, makes the right call, and he just gets blown up.
Landed on his elbow awkwardly.
Ripped his jersey, too.
Zach Gibson will come in for the time being. It's going to be 4th and 1. Tulsa's got a real opportunity here. 4th down play. FAU backup quarterback in the game. Zach Gibson, grad student, has spent time at Georgia State, Georgia Tech, and Akron prior to this. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns this season with the Owls in mop-up duty.
Now Gibson led a couple touchdown drives against Navy in their last game.
Flea flicker. Gibson going deep. Complete to Platt. What a call. And the execution there from the FAU backup quarterback.
How about the guts for Zach Kitley, backup quarterback in the game, calls a flea flicker, and Gibson with a dime to Jay-Sean Platt for the big gain.
Wow. Are you kidding? Gain of 30. Gibson put it on the money. That's a huge play on 4th and 1. Play fake here. Gibson to the corner. Messer, you bet. Oh, Gibson comes in and drives right down the field. Messer another TD. But how about the backup quarterback showing some moxie?
Zach Gibson, I love it. Comes in the game on 4th down. Throws a dime on a flea flicker to pick up a big play. And then another really nice throw, putting it where only Messer can get to it, right on the back shoulder. And a great adjustment by Messer to flip around and make that grab, get the foot down.
They'll go for 2 to try to make this a 21-point game. Gibson's still the quarterback. He'll throw. Good pocket, back of the end zone. Oh, Platt dropped it through his hands. Not a bad throw. With Zach Gibson coming in, throwing his 3rd touchdown pass of the season. Easton Messer catching his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Owls a much more comfortable advantage here in the 4th. Well, the good news for FAU, Zach Gibson comes in, throws 2 dimes in relief, and FAU scores. The better news, Caden Veltkamp shown throwing on the sideline just a few minutes ago and looks to be just fine.
Yeah, there he is, number 10 on the right side of the screen there, so Veltkamp looks okay. But man, Zach Gibson, how clutch was that on 4th down, converting with a flea flicker, then throwing the touchdown pass to Messer. And Gibson, a 7th-year senior, he's got the experience, and Zach Kittley clearly trusts him based on that play call on 4th down.
Yeah, plenty of experience. I mean, he threw for 1,000 yards last year at Georgia State. Threw a couple touchdowns against Marshall.
And Gibson's got some experience having to come in off the bench in the clutch as well, and to get another look at the touchdown. Just putting it right on the outside shoulder of Messer. Great ball placement right there. And Zach Kittley loves it. He is so excited to see his veteran backup quarterback come in and make a play like that. But when Gibson was at Georgia Tech, his first appearance as a Yellow Jacket came in overtime, came off the bench, and led a game-winning field goal drive against Duke. and then had to make a spot start on the road at number 11, North Carolina. Threw for 174 yards in that one.
Plenty of experience, including the ACC. It's hard to believe for all the catches in big plays Easton Messer has had this year, as A.J. Allen hits the carry there. Kamari Johnson on the tackle. Hard to believe he'd only had one touchdown reception heading into this game. 3 of them this evening. Hayes now will dive forward. Leon Hart Jr. back into the game, makes the tackle.
Well, that was a really key drive, and especially that 4th down play, because Tulsa had the momentum. They had cut it down to 13 points. They were looking like they had a chance to come back. If they could have gotten that 4th down stop, who knows what would have happened.
Hayes bottled up. Wilkie Denard putting him to the ground.
Now, Florida Atlantic has done a good job of pressuring Hayes. That's sack number 3 on the night, and he's been under duress many other times.
Allen this time brought down from behind at the 40-yard line.
And A.J. Allen's had a really good game, and another veteran guy who's been at Nebraska, Miami. Only had 4 carries for 4 yards in the last few games in the month of October, and goes over 100 yards today.
And this is where Tulsa's offensive personalities can make things difficult. Trey Lamb said, look, we just need more speed. We need more explosive plays. We have a lot of 8, 10, 12 play drives when we score. You got to be more explosive. This scoreline not conducive to their style of offense. Hayes going to try to throw one downfield. Almost picked off. It was going for G down the sideline. Therese Reed. Thought there might have been interference there too. 4th down.
A good coverage there by Reed, and Tulsa thought that G might be one of those guys as a freshman that could provide him some big plays, but Reed locking him down there. Josh Smith, who had 3 catches of 20+ yards in the last game against Temple, has been held without a catch by Florida Atlantic today.
Have to go for it here, down 19. 8:08 to play. Owls blitz. Then they get to the quarterback. FAU sends the pressure. No time for Hayes to get it away.
Deshaun Batiste cleaned that one up. The Florida Atlantic coming after him. The freshman quarterback has had all kinds of trouble in his face today. The Florida Atlantic putting this one away. Batiste coming around the edge, taking him to the ground.
4 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, and then you start to factor in all the turnovers too. 3 of them today, Patrick Murray.
3 turnovers for the Florida Atlantic D. This was the biggest one.
It's Jamari Sands bouncing outside. Yeah, you have the pick by Reed. Chris Keys had an interception, and then McGee, that 95-yard scoop and score.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at it again. I mean, Tulsa's trying to make it a 1-score game. They're right at the goal line. McGee turns it around, takes it to the house for 95 yards. And then the next drive for Tulsa, right off the hands of Brody Foley, picked off by Chris Keys. That would lead to another Owls touchdown. 17 points off of 3 turnovers for Florida Atlantic. Plus, they got 3 fourth-down stops, including 2 of them at their own 33-yard line.
Uncharacteristic mistakes from players Tulsa relies on, proven themselves this year. And if Foley makes that catch, if Allen gets in the end zone, you really wonder how different this game might feel right now. And Tulsa still showed some fight here in the second half. As Gibson hands off to Sands, surrounded at the 40.
Yeah, Gibson's still in at quarterback. I think Veldkamp was throwing on the sideline. He looked like he was all right, but I think even if he could come back in the game, a good idea by Zach Kitley to let him rest whatever's ailing him right now and let Gibson finish this one out.
Seven minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. 19-point lead for FAU. Ethan Irvin, the tailback now. And that's underthrown. The whistle didn't blow, though.
Yeah, it was a backwards pass, yeah. I believe. It went backwards.
Ruling on the field was a backwards pass. 3rd down.
Couldn't tell from the angle if that went backwards initially, but good job by Irvin to play it live there on the hop.
Yeah, they're going to lose a big chunk on that one. But yeah, heads up play by Irvin, because that could have been a lot worse. If that's a fumble if he lets it go.
Al's content to let more time tick off the clock.
Yeah, it's weird to see Florida Atlantic go with this tempo and just let it bleed out, because you're used to them going so fast.
Take it all the way down to 1. That didn't look good from the start. Again, the whistle didn't blow immediately. I mean, that certainly was a forward pass.
Ruling on the field was the incomplete pass. It's 4th down.
There we go. Yeah, that one was definitely forward. And trying to set up the screen, but Tulsa read that well. And there's Caden Veldkamp on the sideline. Got hit pretty good on a speed option play. Had to come out of the game, but he's had a good day. 21 of 29, 272, 3 scores. Talking with his best friend there, Easton Messer, who has 3 touchdown catches of his own.
This is 3 of 4 home games. The start of 3 of 4 home games to end the regular season for FAU.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I feel all these delay of games before punts around midfield are just always declined at this point. I wonder why teams still do it, although this one is accepted.
I guess just in case, you never know if it's declined or not. And then get the space for Lupo to try to pin him deep.
Lupo gets it off without any problem. Fair catch called for at the 18. 5:51 left to play. So obviously the most difficult task ahead on the FAU schedule, Tulane on the road. That's coming up next week, 4 p.m. kickoff. And then UConn here in Boca, East Carolina. And no slouch themselves have certainly proven they're capable this year. How do you read the rest of the way for FAU and what they're trying to do now? Just 2 wins away, assuming they can hold things off here today. 2 wins away from bowl eligibility.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic's in position where they want to be to try to get to a bowl game. It's got to be tough, though. I mean, the way Tulane played last night against Memphis, they finally got the passing game going, the deep downfield passing from Jake Retzlaff, and that's going to be a real tough one in New Orleans. UConn, I mean, that's a winnable game for Florida Atlantic, but they've got one of the best receivers in the country in Skylar Bell. They've been throwing it all over the place. East Carolina's got a really tough defense. I think those last 2 are going to be good games, and Florida Atlantic's going to have to win those to get to the bowl game.
Glad to have those at home as Hayes forces it in there. Good defense. Derek Rogers breaks it up. Spent the last 2 years at Purdue. They're down in 6. Tulsa's got an out-of-conference matchup against Oregon State next time out before Army and UAB conclude the regular season. 2 of their final 3 games will be at home.
And I think all of those are ones that Tulsa can at least be competitive in, and if not, certainly have a chance to win those. And so that's why this one is such a tough one for them today, because they needed 4 wins to get to a bowl.
Keep it on the ground on 3rd and 6. And you look at what Tulsa's done this year, you could realistically say this is a team that very easily could be 4-4 right now and having a bit different of an outlook. Had a 1-score loss against New Mexico State and 1-point loss, of course, last time. It's 4th down, 7 here. Across the middle, has to force it up. Tempest tried his best. There is a flag. Kamari Johnson is incredulous.
And Johnson did get turned around to play the ball, but was a little bit too physical beforehand.
Pass interference. Defense, number 30. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So it's a very small glimmer of hope here for Tulsa. 4:55 to go, 1st and 10.
Tulsa's had a tough schedule this year in the league. I mean, they started out conference play with Navy, Tulane, Memphis, and East Carolina. All teams that are still in contention for the conference championship. Well, I guess you could say Memphis might be sliding down a bit after the loss to Tulane last night.
And remember, Tulsa operating today without their leading wideout, Zion Booker, who's 2nd in the conference. Top 25 in the NCAA in receptions per game. He was a nice grab out of the portal from Western Carolina. Tempest has had a nice day. Avoids the tackle here to get another 3 yards. Grayson Tempest, 7 catches. A.J. Allen also with 7 out of the backfield.
And the reason Allen has had so many catches is because Baylor Hayes has had to check it down to him so many times because Florida Atlantic has capped off the deep routes from the Golden Hurricane.
Allen on the toss on 3rd and 7. It was funny talking to Trey Lamb before the game. It seemed like Tulsa was getting ready, a lot of man beater plays and expecting to see a lot of man, and then talking to Brett Dewhurst defensively for FAU, thought he was going to go a little more zone than they're used to.
Yeah, that was interesting. As Brett Dewhurst had called around to some other defensive coordinators and figured out, I think Trey Lamb's kind of a game plan type of guy. He's probably going to come with a bunch of man beaters, so I'm going to play more zone, and that's worked out for Florida Atlantic today.
Tulsa needs 2 to keep the drive going. Richardson met at the line, 2nd efforts, got him the 1st down. Contact away from the play to finish off that sequence too. Jaquan Adams, an FAU defender.
Gavench Marcelin back in the game there for Florida Atlantic after he got looked at by the trainers earlier.
3 minutes to play. Hayes will just dive forward to midfield. If you were to give a quarterback assessment of what you've seen from Hayes today, what is important for him moving forward in this, as we talked about, this audition of sorts, so what comes to mind on your scouting report of Hayes?
I think he's just got to maintain his confidence. I don't think Hayes has played bad today. He's been under pressure a lot. He's been able to escape it sometimes, other times not so much. He had a drop from Foley on the 1 pick that hurt him, and 24 of 46, 235, a couple of picks. There's a couple coaching points that he could have done better on the first interception, but I think Hayes is on the right track, and he's been comfortable operating in the pocket. He's made some plays outside the pocket. Not bad today, just a bit of a tough game, and he's got to finish these last 3 strong.
Lawrence Johnson had the pass breakup on 2nd down, 3rd and 7. Hayes being harassed and brought down. Josh Roberts got to him.
A great pursuit by Roberts there, and there's the owl. I love that. good prop in the student section.
Where do you acquire such an item?
That looks like one of those owls that is supposed to sit on top of your house and like keep the other birds, or here in South Florida, maybe keep the iguanas away.
Right. That was that a skull at the bottom of the owl?
Yeah, that's an extra added piece there. I don't know, maybe that's a Halloween decoration or something.
I'm confused, but I'm intrigued.
I love it. Got to have some props in the student section.
Yeah.
You got Captain America there too, FAU edition.
Like a heavy item as well. I'm going to need more information on that. 40-21. You're 2:16 left to play. Hayes, who's been harassed all evening long. He was a little slow walking to the sideline. Looks to be all right. Again, 24 for 46, 235 yards today. Like, that can't be something you find on Amazon or eBay. Like, I'm going to go down there. I need to figure this out.
Did somebody carve that? Custom made?
Good punts. We'll roll inside the 10 and take us to the 2-minute timeout. All FAU here at this point. And
that is the 2-minute timeout.
The fans having a good time in Boca. The American on ESPN Plus is home to 40-plus college football games, over 1,000 exclusive live events, and every American Conference championship throughout the season. For more information and to sign up, visit stream.espn.com. Don't forget about the American Championship game, Friday, December 5th, ABC at 8 o'clock Eastern. Winner of the regular season will host the championship game on December 5th. Under 2 minutes to play as Ethan Irvin gets the carry here. Owls just have to run a couple plays to see this one through. Pat, what was the what do you feel is the most impressive aspect of this win for FAU? Didn't come adversity free. Certainly could have been a different game, but in the end, they put their stamp on this.
I think there's two things for Florida Atlantic in this one: turnovers and explosive plays. They finally got the turnovers they're looking for on defense. They had 3 of them all year long. They got 3 of them today, scored 17 points off of them. And then offensively, they were able to be more explosive than they've been lately, able to go deep down the field a little bit more in the passing game and get some quick scores.
And their handoff here for Irvin. Feels like a little bit of course correction in different departments, right? Whether that's Messer getting the end zone 3 times. You have the second most catches in college football. You deserve more than 1 touchdown. You had 3 of them today. And then, of course, as mentioned, the turnover. Just Brett Dewhurst, I could do his laugh when we were talking about it. I said, I've never been a part of something like this late in the season. We almost had 3 or 4 in the first 2 games. Yeah. But they had 0.
Yeah, we asked him, what are you doing to try to get more turnovers? He said, everything. We're doing our ball disruption drills every day, and then they finally broke through with the 3 turnovers and 2 of them to end the first half. That really changed this game.
In Tulsa, you can see the signs, you can see the fight, but ultimately the execution is still not where it needs to be as the Golden Hurricane fall to 0-6. Trey Lamb has a very strong young quarterback with potential. FAU's got a veteran quarterback who's done this a long time, put up another fabulous day. Zach Kitley and FAU come out victorious here, 40-21. It's going to be the final score. These two, a lot of mutual respect. Zach Kitley, Trey Lamb. Tulsa gave FAU a bit of a fight come the second half. The hole is too deep, and FAU is going to improve to 4-5. 3-3 in league play, and those bowl hopes are still alive for the boys from Boca.
Florida Atlantic needing 2 wins in their final 3 games against Tulane, UConn, and East Carolina to get to a bowl game. An important win for Zach Kitley and his squad today. Got a contribution from the backup quarterback, Zach Gibson, with a touchdown pass off the bench to steal this game. And the Owls can sing the alma mater now and enjoy this win.
FAU finishes with 420 yards of total offense, 311 through the air, 109 on the ground, and the ode to Owsley is happy tonight.
What are we going to call that thing? The skeleton owl? The skull owl?
It better be at every game, I know that. Let's make that a tradition.
There it is.
There it is. No context college football.
Yes.
Right here.
I want to see it.
I want the screenshot.
On the feed.
This is destined for no context. All right, Maria is on the field with Caden Veltkamp, who finishes with 272 yards today. Maria?
Caden, a complete effort from your team. What were you most impressed with on both sides of the ball from your guys today?
Yeah, the defense played really well in the first half. They continued to make plays and get us the ball back. Obviously, the 99-yard scuba score, that was big time. They kept putting us in good positions to make plays as an offense, so credit to the defense.
You had a great game yourself as well, but Zach comes in for you, throws the touchdown pass. What was it like watching him have that success and stuff up for your team?
Yeah, that was the dagger. I didn't really get to see it. I just heard it. But, you know, Zach's always ready to go if we need him. And, you know, it was a great drive. We converted on a 4th and 2. He made 2 great throws on the drive and got us in the end zone. But, you know, he's always prepared for when his moment comes.
We talked about the defense and Zach. How can your offense and you continue at this rate as the season continues?
Yeah, we got to continue to score. We can't have a fumble on the 1-yard line, you know, and then we can't kick a field goal when we're on the 1-yard line too. So that's 2 touchdowns we should have had, and we kicked field goals. We got to get better in that area, and you know, especially this upcoming week against Tulane, we have to score touchdowns to win the game.
Thank you, Caden.
Thank you,
guys.
Caden, Maria, thank you. Zach Kitley saying Caden Veltkamp has not even scratched the surface of how good he can be. It'll be fun to watch the final 3 games of the regular season to see how FAU finishes this out. Patrick, your final thoughts.
A nice game for Veltkamp. The turnover certainly key for Florida Atlantic. They got the explosive plays on offense. Really fun game. Tulsa battled back, but the Owls come out in the end, and they're still on track to have a shot at a bowl game.
Big thanks to our entire production crew. For my partner, Patrick Murray, I'm A.J. Ricketts. The Owls need to win 2 of their final 3 to march on to a bowl game. Big offensive performance today. They put up 40 and win by 19. From Boca Raton, we bid you good night.